That is all I'm going to do. Just as I take and put it down, I'm ready to put down my life, that a nation will arise. We will fight this fight. And any governor that is not doing your job, just know you're on the exit point. You can transfer and defect to any party. We will mobilize the people at the grassroots to determine their fate. If it is blood for blood, we will lay down our life until Nigeria rises up and Nigerians can sing the song of praise. With tears and pains in my heart, I speak to every conscience living legion, all our elderly men and statesmen. You're closer to your exit. President Obasanjo, President Jonathan, President Babangida, President Abdul Salam Abubakar, and all of you, you must have made a mistake in the past, but it is time for you to give and create a future for the descendants to come. Woe unto you to go to your grave without fixing Nigeria. God will judge you. God will judge you, Dangote and others who would not join forces with the masses to subsidize what you produce in their country. A time and a season will come that Nigeria will be too hot for the wicked to survive.
Hello and welcome. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo and this is 90 Minutes Africa. Today we are going to have a special edition of the show. We have a prophet joining us today. This is the first time we're having a prophet. We had a bishop, Prophet Isa El Buba, will join us to talk about the moral crisis in Nigeria and the cost of choosing silence. Most of you must have known him. He's based in Jos. He's on his way to his studio to join us in about 20 minutes. So we can't wait to have a conversation with him on the state of the country, the role of church leaders, and each of us in making sure that we rescue that country. So that conversation will happen in another 20 minutes. He's on his way to his studio, like I said, and he will join us. In the meantime, let me bring in one of our permanent resident analysts here, Mr. James, who is in the studio. Mr. James, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good evening from the Gambia.
It's nice to have you. While we wait for the prophet to get to his studio to join us so that our connection will be good for this important conversation, I wanted to get your view. Yesterday we were on the show and we talked about things happening across the world and in Nigeria. Have you been able to reflect? Have you been able to see anything that we talked about that you didn't know about, especially about the continent and the world during between yesterday and today?
Yes, River State, I understand the emergency rule. The emergency rule is coming to an end very soon. There was church service somewhere, maybe in Port Harcourt, I can't remember. They went for Thanksgiving and this kind of stuff. That's one of the developments. I thought it would be permanent, but Well, I don't know. Until they actualize it, I will not be able to make any categorical statement concerning the development. But it has been an unmitigated disaster to the people of River State.
Mm. Okay, thank you so much. I also see Righteous Man. Righteous Man, welcome to the show. Can you hear me, Righteous Man? All right, Righteous Man cannot. I don't think he can hear me. Righteous Man, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good evening.
Yeah, how are you?
We bless God. I'm okay. And you?
Good. You are joining us from Nigeria, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. How are things?
Um, as usual, but things are getting worse. More Nigerians are hungry. The economy is going down. Insecurity, joblessness, and much more prayers are going on than active service.
Okay, I'm going to bring in someone who is a spokesperson for the government very soon. I've actually agreed with him to be here in principle. Um, and one of the things they've been saying is that government is taking steps to make sure that the hardship that people are facing that is reduced. Have you seen any of those things? For instance, they said that they've removed the tax on mobile data and other things. They are suspending the tax that will have come in on petrol for January. Did you notice? And some people are saying that the prices of items like rice, they've gone down. Did you notice any of those things?
Doctor, I think the guest.
The
I
truth
think the guest is in the
remains.
studio, doctor. I think the guest is here in the studio.
Hello?
Ovie.
Yeah, I think your guest is here in the
I know,
studio.
I know, I know, I know. He's getting to a studio so that he can join us, but he's listening to us. I know he's here around. Yeah. Go ahead, Righteous Man.
Yeah, the truth remains that the prices of food items known is coming down.
That's a good thing.
But I learned that the government did some kind of, they supported some individuals or some companies to import some food items into the country in order to bring down the cost of those items down. But as of today, to the best of my knowledge, there is no food item price that has come down in Nigeria. And when you are talking of coming down, you look at how much was a cup of beans, say 2 years ago, and what is it today. So when you say it has come down, it means it has gone back to the old price or even lower. But such thing is not happening, and I don't think it will happen in the very near future.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Righteous Man. Like I said, we are going to bring someone who speaks for the government to finally come here and talk to us and listen to us, and we can question him on what is going on. That will happen very soon. I will let you guys know when that is finalized. Ovie, welcome.
Doctor, I thought all along you speak for your government. You speak for Buhari and Tinubu government. That is why it's only good Lord you did not speak for, but you have spoken. But that would be interesting, though. I don't now that you say it out loud. I don't think we actually have someone who is
No,
honest.
we've not. It's not because we're not trying. It's not because we're not trying. Finally, I don't want to mention the name. I cornered somebody and he agreed in principle. We're just working out on time that will work for him and we will get him here. So.
Is he going to speak as an official
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
just,
He can't speak anywhere without. Whenever he talks, it's for the government.
I wonder,
Yeah,
what do you tell her we take convince am or what are they?
I don't know. I didn't tell any. I didn't say anything. I said, "Come and talk to my people. They want to hear from the
That's
government."
new.
Yeah,
Wait, if now that I'm scanning through all our small political platform on YouTube, I never see any of them actually
yeah.
come in that capacity to speak.
Yeah,
That's
I was surprised. He said yes. I said good. Anytime you are ready, we are open. I can move a guest and put the person in.
well. I think now you should put Africa on a podcast. It can be done just to upload it. It can be on video or audio. That's it, so that people on Spotify and all that can be. That also generate revenue too. It might not be much, but I think because of the kind of personality that you are introducing, you deserve to be up, and you will be ranking too. They never start to rank you, but once you just create just your background, stuff to turn it to a podcast. It's just
Okay,
to upload and download, upload and upload. I mean,
okay.
you come in form of that. Because I'm seriously, I mean those are my kind of people as in political in terms of variety of a conversation. They come like that. I only get them from outside,
Hmm.
from outside podcasters and YouTubers. So you are doing well. You are doing well.
All
But
right.
yeah, I'm still suspecting you are speaking for the government.
Thank you, Ovie. Thank you so much. No problem. Ovie, for you, yesterday, you were here yesterday, wait. Yeah, you were here
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah, anything changed either in the story of Charlie, in what you've seen since we ended yesterday? Has there been any change? Do you see any change in direction on any story or anything of interest to you happening across Nigeria and Africa?
Not really, other than the fact that they are still gathering evidence. I mean, from the scene, and they are still so. In a way, people are still waiting for more information to jump into conclusion. Nothing really new, other than the way they are planning to either honor him or event after him and all that. But I'm more interested in pay attention to the Elon Musk new projects in UK. I don't know where you see the was that protest or pretty much the quote unquote the fire out from the Brexit, from the Brexit family, where
Mm,
it's protesting. I don't know if it's a protest or they are just demonstrating, led by Tommy Robinson. I don't know if you are paying attention to that. Just like this, the other version of MAGA, should we say, MAGA movement.
yeah.
And Elon Musk actually spoke, although virtually, and it was interesting to see how that is developing. So I don't really, but again, the way the story is developing in terms of how other countries, nationalities are actually reacting. Because these days, I actually, this morning I was listening to their MAGA main platform and channel to see how they are actually interpreting. They're actually paying attention to maybe like a platform like us. I'm not saying particularly this one, how internationals are reacting, other countries are seeing so in a way they're trying to scale the guy's influence, and you know how they do, so they're trying to blow it out of what is not there. They are saying, oh, your UK parliament are actually recognizing him, they are debating, they are screaming, they are trying to, both the negative and the positive, they are trying to create a narrative out of it to us. Then again, no, the wife took over his he has a podcast and a radio show that he does every, so the wife is now the host of that show. So that's
Yeah.
on that. The next man is going to be a woman. So that's how they are. I think that's it. Other than that, in terms of any info rather than what is already out there, no, I know. See, they say they are still gathering information, but I think there's a new law on campus. No more open carrying. No more open carrying gun on campus. That's new. That's on that state where it happened, not nationwide now.
Okay.
So it might be something that we'll see, you know, that will go national. But other than that, no, nothing really out of the other than what we all covered yesterday
All
from
right.
the various perspectives.
Okay, thank you. Ernest, I'll come to you, but before then, let me play a video that one of the videos out there that is, if I can get it quickly, it's about Donald Trump. He was asked about how he was keeping on after the death of one of his supporters. I will I will play the video. I'll find it. I'll play the video. His reaction was interesting to most people who've been watching, because people were expecting that probably he will pull back from some of the things he said. This is what Trump said, I think, yesterday.
Is on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
All right. So people will make it, their interpretation is that Trump has moved on. Because he didn't want to confront the idea or the possibility that the media will, because the person that asked that question was very crafty. I mean that's how you approach Trump now. You can't you can't confront him; he will fight back. So he wanted to say, okay, how are you holding on, to see what he will say? But the question will have been, the next question will have been, do you have any regret on your initial statement where you blamed the radical left for what happened? But he didn't want to address it. He moved on straight to other things, which
So,
I
think some of the MAGA section are pushing for them to name that particular building the new ballroom after the Charlie Clark. So I don't know how that will scale, but
Lord.
so yeah. So those are the things that are kind of pain. I see why they are trying to scale the whole event. It's interesting. That I like how you describe the journalist crafty.
Yeah, you have to. If you are dealing with somebody like that, you can't come immediately and say, "Hey, Mr. President, do you regret what you say?" You can't say that; he will just abuse you. So you have to tell him, how are you holding on?
That's a good
I hope
observation. That's a
I hope you
good.
are doing well. And all right,
Wow.
Ernest, welcome to the show.
You see, that's why I say you speak for the government,
No, you have to understand.
You understand them well.
I understand their side. I can actually tell you what they are thinking about and how they are thinking of things. Ernest, welcome to the show. We are waiting for those who are just joining us. We are waiting for the prophet to join us. He's actually around. He's listening to us, but he's getting to his studio. He's in transit, getting to his studio to sit down so that we can connect and make sure that the connection is good and not breaking. So, Ernest, welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Ernest, you have your say because our prophet is here. Say something that what do you think about what were you here yesterday? Did I see you?
No, but I listened to you.
Okay, you watched the show yesterday. All right. So, what do you make of the state of things since yesterday?
Yeah, I think when the thing happened, I told my wife that even before they arrested the guy, I told my wife that the person that killed the church will be a white person. And luckily, it was just like that. So I think there's one thing with America or white people that are different from black, and they can do anything to provided that's what they believe in. They can go as far as doing anything just to make sure that they make a name. So I think that's what the guy that shot the. And for Nigeria, what's happening in Nigeria? I think Ibas went to start giving today for a successful rain in River State. So
Who
maybe
did,
we talk
who did
about
what?
that.
Say it again. Say it again.
I said Ibas, the administrator in River State,
Okay.
he went to start giving
Okay.
for the
For
success of his administration 6 months. So
okay.
it's part of what maybe when the man of God when he comes. Because I think the problem in Nigeria is that the church politics in Nigeria, uh, the main people, main of the major problem in Nigeria is from the church. They are giving support to political class in whatever they do, provided you have the money.
All right.
So And sometimes I think maybe Ebuba may not be the right person. I want somebody like Adeboye, or those want to be in your show. So let's interact with them.
All right. So our guest is here.
Sorry, as the man resigned, as he hand over NS, the
No,
Rivers,
yeah, not yet.
and
But they say he has prepared his handover note, and today he went to Thanksgiving.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Our guest is here. We are going to go to him. After my conversation with him, I will open it up for you guys to join us and we have a conversation with him together. So thank you for hanging out with me while we waited for him to settle in his studio. All right, let's begin the show and welcome our guest to the. All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a special edition of 90 Minutes Africa. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. My co-host, Shido Onoma, is an assignment. Today, we welcome to the show Prophet Isa El Buba. Most of you know him as the founder of El Buba Outreach Ministries International, a powerful preacher and prophetic voice from Jos. He speaks boldly on faith, nation building, and Nigeria's future. Please welcome to the show, Prophet El Buba. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a pleasure for me to join you today.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for the honor of having me join your team.
We are so happy to have you. It's not every day that we have a man of God who speaks truth to power join us on the show. So we're glad. So let me start with the state of the nation. I know you are monitoring what has been going on in Nigeria, and you preach on your platform in his presence. You speak every week. I want to know what you make of the political situation today.
The political situation today, let me use the word, is not actually physically what we desire. It is let me use the word. It's a disaster. It is not something that anybody should um, align with as of where it is today. But then out of the mess, you will always see that there's also a message that is to be picked from and to be learned from. And so, whether you look at the events that are going on from the presidency right down to the ordinary person on the street, you will see that it is a dual thing that is ongoing in terms of the rottenness of morality. So you have it at the apex, which is the elite. You also have it at the bottom, which is the people. And so we're dealing with two sides of political rottenness. I call it immorality. So that's just what it is.
But if you look at the country, people are preparing for 2027, and you do preach about that. You do talk about what has to be done before 2027. Do you think those things are going to happen before 2027? I'm talking about example, electoral reforms that people believe that if it's not done, that the result will be the same.
Yeah, that's very true. Basically, I have said that presently the problem of having good governance in Nigeria is not with the presidency; it's actually with the parliament, with the House of Assembly, with the national, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. And we're doing a lot in the background. It's not, I won't be able to say everything on air. But if we're going to see a change Nigeria, if we're going to see a change Nigeria, then we must do something about that place that is called the National Assembly. That is the most corrupt place in Nigeria. The judiciary has its own, the other presidency. But if you really want to have the right people in power, then something must be done about the electoral process in the country. And so what we're doing is, apart from sensitizing the people, we are trying to put some machineries in place that will be able to put the people in the place that they need to be, so that the thing that needs to be done will be done. And between now and the end of the year, we're believing that something will happen.
Mhm. Okay, let's believe that. But there's another thing going on in the country as we speak. The opposition parties, virtually all of them, are saying that the government is simply interested in crushing them, making sure there won't be any opposition that would challenge him, the president's next election. In fact, there's this week last week we had kind of some permutations that are suggesting that Peter Obi may not even have a political party from which he will even contest. What do you make of that accusation that the government is trying to crush opposition parties in Nigeria?
Let me just give you a picture. It's just like the devil showing up before you. If you're a child of God, if the devil shows up before you, God is not going to be the one that will rebuke the devil. You will have to act by rebuking the devil, because you've been given the authority to do it. And so there are things that God is going to do for you, but what he has given you power to do, he's not going to do it for you. So what I'm trying to say is, the president, Tinubu, the presidency, and all the APC and all the political class that want to, let me use the word, place their knee on the neck of all other opposition so that they cannot breathe. They don't have that capacity. I still say they don't have that capacity. The most powerful institution is the institution of the people. Is the most powerful. If these opposition leaders are genuine and they mean what they are saying, then they will be able to put their energy. I tell you, in the next 24 hours, they will be able to ground this country to a halt. They will be able to prove to the president that you cannot just do what you feel like doing. We'll all have to obey the Constitution. So, but when you have people that are fearful, people that are, let me use the word, they say something with one mouth, but they don't do it. They do different thing with the other hand. Basically, you find the government will ride on, the government can do whatever the government wants to do. I give you an example of something that happened some years ago. There was a senator in this place on the plateau. He was a popular senator. He used to be a deputy senate president. He came and he was just talking down on the people. Now, one thing you don't do before me is trying to talk down on people, because these people are God's image and these people must be respected. So he was talking down on the people. He was talking down on the religious organizations and institutions and all. And he felt because he was so much, he had so much money, so much power. At that time, the president was even a little bit, let me use the word, afraid of him because of his political strength. So when I came into town and I heard the thing, I don't go by rumor, I go by evidence. I said, get me the evidence. They brought the evidence, I watched it. I said, okay, let's go to the field. I mobilized the people. I don't have 0.10% of the resources he has in terms of money. But you see, there is a thing that has to do with leadership. Money is not the one that drives it first. It is the capacity to give people the leadership, the direction that this thing can be done. So I led the people. At the end of the day, Senator Mantu was brought down by somebody that is unknown. That was how we got Major Sati to become the senator in that zone. And from that day, Mantu till he died, Mantu never smelled any political office. So what I'm trying to say is there is nothing we cannot do. So if the opposition are serious, whether it is all of the people that are coming out now talking and talking, if they are really serious, first of all, that they are repentant, that they themselves acknowledge the errors of the past. That's the way to go. We made mistake. Tell Nigerians what you did, how you were part of the process of bringing Nigeria to where it is. That's what Nigerians are looking for. The reason why Nigerians, let me use the word, if I ask them to come out, they come out because they tested me. By the grace of God, you can't buy me, you can't manipulate me for anything. When it comes to the welfare of the people, I am there. Now, you as political leaders, some of them were vice presidents, some of them were governors, some of them were senators, some of them were ministers. They were part of the thing that contributed to where Nigeria is now. So what you need to do is simple. Sit down and be honest for once. That's what we're saying. For once, be honest. It's not about a person. I tell you today, if Tinubu changes his ways and starts doing what is right, I will support him. Because all I want is Nigeria to work. It's not about an individual coming into power. So if they are really serious, they would tell Nigerians, we apologize. That's first. That's repentance. What we did in the past. Now we are ready to join you, Nigerians. It's not about us. It's not about any one of us seeking to be president. We want to join hands together to make sure that this evil does not go on. And of course, the things are there. With the policy of this government, the actions of this government, what is ongoing. These are glaring things that are there that citizens are tired of. Citizens are groaning. I just had over 12 hours drive by road. I have been going across the country. I just came back from 9 states. For the past almost 15 days, I've been out of my family. I've been on the road, looking at the true state of Nigeria, praying over Nigeria, also mobilizing Nigerians. So this opposition, it's not for them to complain and say Tinubu is trying to limit them, is trying to block them, is trying to do this. No, if they pull their energy together, then Nigerian people will follow them. I can tell you. Now, not all Nigerians. You will have 70% of Nigerians. I'm saying this, 70 will follow them.
So you're talking about kind of transformation, like transformation that happened to Saul to become Paul. Do you see any sign that something like that could happen in any of these politicians today?
Yes, because we've seen it. At least I can cite few people that God has changed them and they've been able to serve. Okay, let me give you an example. The former governor of Plateau State, David Jonah. That man came, transformed Plateau. Plateau was becoming the fastest growing state in Nigeria. The Israeli ambassador came here, negotiate and established a kind of partnership that the Israeli nation, Israelites, came to settle. They started settling here. The man developed this land from over 30 years of backwardness, bankrupt economy. He was able to raise it up, jack it up, economy, infrastructure. You will go to some places, it's farmland, but you will see roads, clean roads. And then the agricultural thing was coming up vibrantly. It was here that Adesina, the former Minister of Agriculture, was coming here to see what was going on. It was a revolution. So there are politicians. There are people that are truly, they have the heart for the people. They really are willing to lay down their lives, changing from a Saul to a Paul. We have few of them. So I can attest to what I have seen with my eyes. I was part of it. I mean, his commissioners, we are transforming commissioners. This man will not touch a dime from the government. I remember his wife as the first lady. This man refused to sign funds to fund the first lady's office. I asked him, why did you do that? He said, because the first lady's office is not part of the constitution. In this Nigeria, by the grace of God, you can't come to Plateau. Anything you see on the Plateau in terms of development is what that man did before an error took place, and then the last administration came and took the state back again. So it can happen. Yeah, it has happened.
Yeah, you said something, because when I was asking that question, I was thinking about Yar'Adua. When Yar'Adua came in as president, he acknowledged that the process that brought him into power was faulty, that it wasn't right.
That's
and
right.
He took some steps, but he didn't last.
That's
so we didn't see that.
That's
so
right.
There are two things. One is, do we have critical mass of such politicians that could transform a nation? The second question is, are there systems in place that will make it sustainable? Like you talked about Plateau State. apparently it wasn't sustained by when he left. So
Yeah, what happened was there was an error, and that is something that, by the grace of God, I am working, round the clock. I've been able to put up a system. That was the system that actually gave Peter Obi a very strong voice, and I rallied the entire North. I rallied the Middle Belt. If you saw it, the largest gathering that Peter Obi had, it was on the plateau. I did that with my own resources. Peter Obi did not give one dime. There was no one naira that Peter Obi gave. It was the collection of the people, and he had the biggest, one of the largest rallies. Plateau State gave him the largest vote in terms of vote, in the North, and in Nigeria, basically. So we have politicians, and this structure that I've set up, it's the structure, by the grace of God, that we're looking at a system that is going to sustain the process. It's not just having men come into governance, but having a force, having a structure that can confront the system if it's not doing well. And if the system is doing well, a system that can monitor to help the government. For instance, I've been to different, excuse, my grandchildren are coming in, and so they have not seen their grandfather. So my wife came in to whisper I should love the studio because they
I don't blame them.
they they are too, I'm too glued to them. So
Yeah.
excuse me, sorry. So
That's okay.
what I'm saying is, with that structure, is for us to be able to make sure that we have something we can checkmate, we can police the political class, the government. If they're doing what is right, commend them for what they're doing. If they're doing what is wrong, also amplify and bring them out. The other thing is, you see, God does not send angels to correct a nation. In every nation, go and check American history, what took place and how God raised men who established America that the world is enjoying today. Go read British history, George Fox and others. You see the rottenness, you see the corruption, you see the rate of poverty, and how a few group of people were able to bring about a revolution. I believe that, you see, there are men in every nation. There are men, not just me. There are many people like me in the country that are passionate about seeing the new Nigeria. And there are politicians also who are desiring to see the new Nigeria. So the only thing is that what we needed is to be able to pull our strength together to be able to put the pressure that is required to bring about this to happen. So what happened in Jonah Jan's case, that the wrong person came in, was something that he also apologized. He did, let me use the word, he made an error. He made a mistake by picking somebody from the northern part where he came from. That was it. It was a protest vote. That was it. The citizens, the people of the land, the state waited for him to produce a candidate to tell you the level of his impact. Nobody was bringing out poster. Nobody was agitating, I want to be governor. The impact of the man was so much. The man touched the ordinary people that you can see them singing his song. Like the Bible says, when the righteous reign, the people rejoice. But then he made a mistake. It was a big error. He picked his chief of staff. He's a brilliant guy, very, very brilliant guy. He was one of the brains behind the things that took place at that time. So he wanted continuity. But it was wrong because he had other disciples he has mentored from the southern zone. And so he needed to pick one from there, and he did it. That was the mistake. So this is one of the things that we're saying. God is the God of justice, is the God of fairness, is the God of equity. And the moment you put that in place, you will get good governance, and continuity will be there.
All right. Last week, something happened in Nepal. The people rose and basically chased away their government. And we've seen some people who speak for this government warning people, the government of Nigeria, warning people not to romanticize, basically not to incite people I think that's the best word to use. Incite people to try to replicate what happened in Nepal, in Nigeria. Why are they worried? Do you think that something like that could happen in Nigeria?
There is fear everywhere in them. The Bible tells us that the wicked runs when no man chases it. When they know that they are doing what is not right, I will tell you the truth. They know. They know that they are losing. They know that they are not really in touch with the masses are not really with them. The only problem I have with the Nigerian masses is they tend to let me use the word groan in their pain and still take it and still manage it. But they know that already what is on ground is against them. That's why they are putting all kinds of system. They are getting influencers on the media. They are getting, to do several other things to get people on their side. But the fact is that you can't stop when the heat comes. That's why I said this. If the politicians do not change, it's coming. With something happened in August, I asked Nigerians to step out. Even before I knew there was a group that was trying to stage a protest, I did that. I was in Warri when I made that broadcast. And in the north, they used to call it Warri Declaration. And I said, come out. Now, for the first time in northern Nigeria, they were listening to the word of a Christian cleric and obeyed. And there was a massive response on the plateau. It shook the nation. It shook the government. That I was able to control a mass of people. You're talking of tens of thousands without a bullet. And the people were obedient, Christians and Muslims. It has never happened in the history of northern Nigeria, no Nigeria. So, but what I'm trying to say is, when the government saw, they sent in talks. The talks were arrested. Somebody came behind me that was arrested with a pistol, was sent to assassinate me. But God, in his infinite mercy, he has always helped me. I've gone through more than 9 assassination attempts. Bullets have been fired on me. God has kept me. That's why I am not afraid of anybody, because I know that when I'm done and God Almighty says my time is up, nobody can kill me. But when my time is up, I will go home. So what I'm saying is, I did that for 4 days. Nobody, they came with money, the people rejected the money. People were trekking, some were trekking 40 kilometers, some were trekking 50 kilometers, coming to the center. That's to tell you that when the time comes, the people will rise. And they did that time. Until the state government was influenced by the presidency, of course, they set a curfew. And that curfew, because I had already planned the next day what we're going to do as the people. And they know that if that thing continued, there was no way this government will continue with what they are doing, And so what I'm saying is, right now the people are waiting. All they are asking is, what do you want us to do? I said, cool. Let's be working on ourselves. Right now, it is citizens' transformation, because the citizens themselves, they have their own problem. The level of greed, the level of corruption, the level of insincerity. Nigerians are good talkers. But when you put them in the pressure, you will see a different color come out of them. I will tell you that I saw things during the 2023 election of most of the people that call themselves obedient. It was so shocking to see that they were rotten, corrupt, self-centered people. And so this time, I'm telling the people, transform. Let's see a transformation within ourselves. But they know, the people at the top there, they know that if they don't amend their ways, what happened in Nepal is going to happen here in Nigeria.
All right.
I can tell you that it's in the air. It's in the air already. The only thing is, I'm saying that the people in Nepal, went to the extent of burning down their presidency, and all of that, their government structure. No, I don't subscribe to destruction because this is still their own property. This is still their own money. What they would have done is basically to invade the place, to guard the place, but remove those evil, wicked politicians and show them the lesson they have shown them. What they did there, I applaud the young generation for what they did. So here is brewing, is brewing, is growing little by little. But I can tell you, if they don't change, it's going to be a shock to everybody in Nigeria. And when Nigerians' own takes place, that is the change in Africa. I can tell you this. I can tell you what I am getting from even other African countries, because the movement I'm setting up is where we're moving into other African countries. I can tell you, everyone is waiting for Nigeria. Everyone is waiting for Nigeria to get it. And as of where we are, spiritually, we're getting ready. The past almost 15 days, I went raising prayer, people, because whatever you're doing, you need the supernatural backing of God. Then politically, we are getting prepared, transforming the people, not transforming them for destruction, but transforming them for transformation. That's why the August protest, there was not one building that was tampered with on the plateau. There was not one shop that was looted. The people were orderly, the people were decent, the people, they showed civility. So that is what we're going to see in Nigeria. We, like I said to the president, if we don't see the change that is required in the next 1 year, we will mobilize to the street. All we need to do is to sit on the street, do what must be done. So that is what is on ground and is growing little by little.
For those who have tried what you are talking about, revolution or protests that will basically change things, they've encountered reaction from the government. And one of the reactions, one of the ways that they do this, whichever government, is to divide the people. They divide the people by religion, by ethnicity, and whatever they are going to use to divide people. What are you putting in place to make sure that if that time comes, that it won't be effective? Because if you look at Nigeria today, the divisions are very big and it's expanding, which means the government is. So what are you putting in place?
Well, that's why I'm telling you that we're building, transforming the people to believe in the one Nigeria. I am from the far north. The one person that the far northerner will never support is an Igbo man. Reason is because of history. Secondly, we believe that the Igbo man, you give him a little space, he wants to dominate him. That's the mind. But if you look at it, I was the one that brought the Igbo man, accepted the Igbo man, brought Islamic clerics. They stood on the podium. They supported. I mobilized the Middle Belt leaders. I mobilized the far north. That was how Obi, by the grace of God, Obi was able to have his, let me use the word, he was able to be accepted in the north here. And so what I'm trying to say is we are mobilizing the people, transforming them first, not to destroy. That's number one. Number two, religion has always been a seed they have always used to plan to divide the people. Then try. Now they see me, a Kanuri Fulani man. I'm associating with all other tribes. I'm associating with all other faiths. That's why if you look at it, sometimes I confuse Islamic clerics in the north that are pumping poison into the minds of the people. Very deadly one. So, and I take up the Quran with them. I said, if you go by this Quran, we won't be going through what we're going through even in northern Nigeria with all that is going on. But there is one book called Hadith. That is the bane. That is the problem of the, let me use the word, the fanatic Muslim. So I am using that. And the glory of God, a lot of Islamic clerics are coming on this side. That's why you saw what happened in the Augustine. What happened in the Augustine, Muslims refused to go to the mosque to pray. I told them, okay, I provided water for them to do their ablution and go to the mosque to pray. They said, no, you're talking of tens of thousands. They said, no, they're not going anywhere. They are going to stay here. I should give them leadership. So I raised somebody from among them to be the imam to lead the prayer. That is something unusual. And it was on a Friday. They are supposed to go to the bigger mosques for prayer and join everybody. They said no. On the road we had it. Christians surrounded them. Christians took care of them. On Sunday, let me tell you, the people that publicized the gathering on Sunday service, it was the Muslims. The Muslims were the ones that went out and said, service on Sunday will not be inside the churches, it will be on the street. And the Muslims provided everything that was needed. Usually when Christians are having their activity, if you see Muslims around, they'll be making noise and all of that. But that day, no. Muslims honored the day. They sat down, listened to the message. We all did everything together. Then at the end of the service, we continued with our protest. Now here is it. We are not leading a protest that is, let me, destructive. We're leading a protest saying, look, change must be. Because life is not just about you. Life is about generations to come. And generations to come will only have a good life based on what you do today. So we are healing that. Let me give you one example. After that, I decided to establish a vocational training center because one way to help the people from the bottom is to be able to see how do we solve our problem by ourselves. Forget about the politicians and the government. How do we start? So I established not just the normal vocational center, you know, the normal one, they come 2 weeks and all of that, they are gone. They go back to square one. But this one, you will spend almost a year. Now, it will amaze you. We had about 10,000 people that came. And because of the little resources I have to sell some of my properties, you know, to be able to fund that. So when I did that, I got some plots of land for farm, and I distributed a plot to each individual of, let me use the word household, to farm. I provided the farming implements and all of that for them to farm. What about the others? We trained them in fashion, in tailoring, schooled tailoring center, in cosmetology, in ICT. Some of the students that were in the university that couldn't continue, we brought them in there, you know, to be able to upgrade them. That look, all you need is the skill in this 21st century. Then by and by, you'll be able to do online courses for your university program. Do you know that 75% of the people that got admission, I gave admission into that vocational, are Muslims? And these Muslims, some of the sheikhs came to my house with tears. They said they are sorry for all these years because they saw the impact of people from their community coming back home, transformed, coming back home with something now they are doing. A lady, she's over 60 something. She can't read, she can't write, she can't speak English. She attended our adult school. Do you know that by the grace of God, this woman can read and write? When I graduated them a few weeks ago, that was where I made this broadcast. I was crying. I was in tears. This woman came up to address the crowd and to appreciate me. You know, my children were there because they know what pain I go through to provide these things. I know that I get support from anywhere. No, this is family. We are just doing it because we feel that God has helped us. How do we help the 99 that don't have that privilege? We can't join people to be criticizing. Why has that person not done it? Why? No. Start with yourself. Start doing something. And I tell you, with that Muslim community right now, they are asking me, please tell us, sir, what do you want us to do? From Sokoto, Katsina, Kano, Kebbi, Nasarawa, Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, from these places, top leaders are calling me, telling me, Prophet El Buba, tell us what you want us to do for 2027. So the fact is that tribe, religion, and all of that, by the grace of God, we're bringing down that stronghold by the grace of God.
We are going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk about your past, the work you do, and the role of the church in some of these activities that you are doing on your own. So let's take a break. When we come back, we continue with Prophet El Buba.
into power, and we must get the right men and women. 2027 is not for politicians to manipulate our head. We will get the right men. I talk to you, Mr. President. You have the opportunity to fix and make amends to your mistakes and your errors in the next 1 year, or else we will get on the street. We cannot be bought. We cannot be bought. I feel the tears of the recent young men that we killed in the villages. You are saddled with the responsibility. This is what you applied for. 1 year is more than enough for you to give Nigerians hope that there is a starting point and we have gotten it right. Look at the way Nigerians have been mocked in Ghana. Now Ghanaians are saying Nigerians must go. South Africans are saying Nigerians must go. Togo are saying Nigerians must go. You Nigerians, wake up and fix your country.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us and being here as we continue our conversation with Prophet Isa El Buba. So, right there, you were talking about to the president that he needed to correct his mistakes in a year. What are the mistakes?
Poor economic policies. Number one, let me say that I am a believer that no matter how criminal, or no matter how bad, or no matter how sinful somebody is, that the person can change. I was not what I am. I was a jihadist. I was very violent. I had a different negative perspective about life and about people. But when change came, that change was able to move me from violent, destructive, killer, a terrorist, that by the grace of God I became a lover, a carer, a giver of life, a helper. That the people who plot evil against me, I can sit with you the next minute and eat food with you. I don't bear grudge with anybody. I believe that everybody was created by God, and everybody will be accountable to his maker. So I believe that the reason why we pray is believing God that God will help us, because we're human. And so I believe that even though the process was flawed, even though the process was wrong, our judicial system that empowered him and finally gave him the let me use the word, the power to be the president, and he is the president of Nigeria. We can't take that away from him. We must respect that. We must respect the finality of the sovereign creator. That even when the devil tried to create something, God will always override. So as a believer in faith, I give the president that. That's why I respect him as president of Nigeria, because the Supreme Court has declared him so. Whether it is corrupt judicial process, no problem, but now he's our president. So it doesn't matter what wrong he has done. He has the ability and the grace to walk his life, to make the changes that are required. I gave you an example with Mantu before he died. Mantu came on air and he told the world how he was rigging, how he was helping the system to corrupt and destroy the system. He repented. So the fact is that the president needed to change his economic policy, number one. Number two, Nigeria must stop in terms of prioritizing certain things that has to do with agriculture, that has to do with infrastructure, that has to do with the welfare of the citizen. They are simple things to do. The Nigerians, let me tell you the truth, Nigerians are one of the easiest people to lead. If you just show them the way and they see you do what you say, they will follow you. But Nigerians can be tough, they can be difficult. When they see inconsistency with your lifestyle. And so what I've said to the president is that the president should take responsibility to correct already the corruption that is ongoing. Let me give you an example. What in any way should make you sign, let me use the word, a budget to go and finance the coastal road? When the internal road, that amount budgeted for the coastal road is enough, sir, is enough to fix the major internal road. And this major internal road is not going to take more than 6 months. I think I told you from Lagos. From Lagos, I drove to Ogun, Abeokuta, Abeokuta, I went to Oyo, Oyo, I went to Osun, Osun, I went to Ondo, Ondo, I went to Ekiti, Ekiti, I went to Kwara, Kwara, I went to Kogi, Kogi, I went to Niger yesterday night. And this morning, I'm here now in Jos. That's why I came into the studio late. It's painful. My body's aching at this age. But I had to go through this. People are saying, why should you do this? It's killing. I know. But I had to do it to feel what the ordinary Nigerians are feeling. And it's something that if the government is on the right course, they will start it. They will begin to fix this thing. When Nigerians see you do 10%, they don't expect you to do the 90%. The moment they see you are on the right course, that's all. The second thing is agriculture. It doesn't take 6 months to be able to flog Nigeria with food. Nigeria is a blessed land. The land is fertile. So what you just need to do, there are crops that grow in less than 40 days. There are crops that grow in less than 60 days. There are crops that grow in less than 90 days. So what you do is you put them in the different stages. Because you're talking about the demographic in terms of the people that are at the bottom of the pyramid. They are the ones that are going through the pain, mostly. Okay? So if you're talking about that group of people, that's virtually 70% of Nigerians. And what they feed on is ordinary food. Beans, cassava, maize. So there are these foods you put. I have done it. So you found this as Ministry of Agriculture. With the amount of money we have had government pumping into agriculture, and we're seeing nothing. That's why the cost of food are going up. Number 3, security. It is still the masses that are suffering. How many sons of the elites have been murdered? How many sons of the elite, or how many of the elites have been murdered by these killer Fulani headsmen? None. There is none. But all the people you see every day, 50 here, 100 here, in Katsina, in Kaduna, in Benue, on Plateau, is the ordinary people. So what will the president do to give a marching order for the commanding chiefs to relocate? And then synergize with the locals, that's it. And give them order. Anyone who comes to invade here, neutralize them. No, nothing like calling Abuja. Sir, this thing will be dealt with in less than 1 month. I'm not saying 2 months, 1 month. Because when Nigerians see you with the will, they will be ready to offer themselves. That's why we have the civilian JTF. They offer themselves. They were even going to the front line to fight before the soldiers. That's Nigeria for you. So there are policies. Now, the next one, energy. How do you drop energy? It's simple. That's what I'm telling the president. I had to put it down in point and send. What is it? CNG. You've spoken about CNG. All right. So this CNG thing, why don't you flood the nation? It's not something that it's a rocket science that we have to wait for 3 years. the things, the kits are there. Import the kits. You already have the NNPC filling stations all across Nigeria. So what you do is all the NNPC fuel stations, use them as the, the center where people can go and convert their vehicle from gas, from fuel to CNG. And so what is going to happen is that there's going to be the crash, because this is where the masses are suffering. It's in energy, transportation. So the moment there is a crash in transport fare, food will crash. What will happen? When the people have food to eat, I'm telling you, the Nigerians I know, they will slow down. They will allow you to do what you need to do. I give you an example. I went to a community. I decided the community was attacked and burnt. Okay? About 200 people were murdered and massacred. I went to that community. I prayed with the people. And people were government was bringing relief and all of that. But then I spoke to the people, encouraged them. I went back with tears. Few days later, God ministered to me. So I gathered pastors, 1,350 pastors. I trained them. We sat down and looked within and said, we don't have sponsors anymore. We don't have money anywhere. But we must learn to solve our problem by ourselves. So I said to them, we're going to move. I will take care of your feeding. Morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner. We will go to that village. We will stay there. I moved the people, sir. I gathered the villagers, the villagers, and I said, if you have one plot, bring it. You have 10 plots, bring it. Do you know that these villagers, nobody argued, nobody was saying, no, how can I give my 10 plots? I'm telling you, they brought all their land together. I sat down, we designed the village with road, infrastructure in terms of school, market, and all of that. After we did that, the next thing was, we sat down with all of these pastors, 1,350. My family, we were sleeping in a primary school on the floor. My security men were surrounding me because after going through several assassination attempts, they had to make sure that I have security that are always with me. So they were there with me. They said, no, Daddy, you can't stay here. I said, I'm staying here. I'm staying here. My wife, my children joined me. My children, I'm telling you, they are first class. The school in Wisconsin came out with first class degree. Brilliant, doing great things. But all of them humbled themselves for these poor people. Well, at the end of the day, we started making bricks. People that knew nothing about making bricks, they started learning. Pastors became carpenters. They became plumbers. They became builders. That's how, by the grace of God, we were able to build 53 housing units. I spent about 100 and something million naira. Sorry, the lights, because the Nigerian thing now.
I understand.
So, all right. So I think the inverter just went off. But then before they would put it on. But that is what we did. We built 53 housing units with roads, with water going to the 3-bedroom. These are villagers that used to go to the mountainside. They used to go to the bush. If anytime they want to ease themselves for the first time in their life, they are staying in modern house. Now, these were things that if it was government, they would have quoted several billions. But all I spent was 100 and something million naira. It's there. It's called Tapot. If you come to Plateau, you can go and see it. It's there. It's a city. So transform. Another place, I give you example. I went with my family, and when we came back from the crusade, I said, what can we do? So I have this last land. I left it for my children. So now children are grown up now, and then my grandchildren. So I said, okay, please, can you people allow me? I want to sell that. I want to sell that land. I said, Daddy, this is what I want to do. So at the end of the day, we sold the land, got some money from it by God's grace, about 17 million naira. Now with that, we were able to, by the grace of God, make 40 roads into 40 communities. 40. grow into political governance. So governance, bringing about visible change, is not something that is difficult. So that's why I said to the president, he has 1 year to correct the wrong and then begin to show the people that, look, I'm going to cut down on my budget. What does it take? The man is not, whether you call it by corruption, by whatever means he became rich, I don't care, but the man is not broke. The man is not poor. The man has more than enough. So what is it? What is it about life? Life is not about how much you gather. At the end of the day, you will gather and it will end up rotting. And you lose. Your generations will lose it because it is of the people. So that's why you see some of these great Nigerian and African leaders, by the time they are gone, go and check their family. It's a sorry state. So that's why I said, you are not broke. So why don't you say, look, I'm going to cut off from my own salary. I'm going to cut off from certain expenses. In the next 6 months, Nigerians, we will walk it through with you. Just these 5 things I have given you, I'm telling you, Nigerians will begin to sing hallelujah the next period, because it's clear. So this is why I say to the president, in the next 1 year, if you change your policy and do what is right, then you will get our backing. We're praying for him to succeed. But if not, we can't continue. It's not about us. I will not live forever, sir. I am conscious that this life is time bound, and anytime God can call me. But it's not about me dying. It's not about me going. What do I leave behind as solution for generations that were not part of the creation of the problem?
Let me ask you, before we go to the role of other church leaders like you, in Benue State, neighboring state to where you are, there's crisis that has in the last 2 years has been something that if this were to be happening in other parts of the country, it will be people will be baffled that it looked as if nothing could be done. I was in Benue State in June. It was days after the president announced that the chief of army staff should move to Benue, what he just recommended. I passed across from Makodi all the way, and I went by road from Abuja to Benue, from Makodi all the way to Otukpo and down. I only saw 2 soldiers in a motorbike. Why is it that it's difficult to solve the problem in Benue State?
That's what I'm saying. It's the political will. That's it. The political will to do what is right. Excuse me, can you bring the power bank, please? The political will to do what is right. Now you heard the president say to the army chief, "Hey, move." They know the killers. If you come here now, you want me to show you, I will show you where they are. I will show you where they are. It's not something that I can show you. They know where they are. It's the political will. That's why if you, there was something I participated in called the Middle Belt Media Chat or something, and I had to speak my mind. I know I was treading on a dangerous path, very, very dangerous. I know my people. I know them very well. You don't try it. But I know I was treading on the most dangerous path. But I had to say the truth. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And I had to mention who are the people behind 80% of the security instability in Nigeria. The government knows them. They know where they are. Right now, there is a senator from Katsina. There is a senator from Katsina who they know him to be a major sponsor. It's not something that I'm telling you. Just check. There are even videos and confessions of even the band. So they know them. They know where they are. The only thing is the political to say, look here, dislodge them, clear them. Let me give you an example with what happened in Borno. When Boko Haram came up, and we discovered that it was our own people, the Kanuris, that were mostly in the boys. And then we discovered that there was also international sponsorship, and all of that because of some of the minerals we have. There's a mineral you have there in that Sabisa area that is called um, look at it now. It's one of the most
Californium or something like that.
Californium. Thank you. It's one of the most precious. Okay, so they some foreign aids came in. They were mobilizing the Boko Haram. They were sponsoring the Boko Haram. So, but then when we discovered both local and international, there was a kind of a network. What our people did was that our people started doing. Can you get me with the ring? Our people started mobilizing, and parents started confessing, bringing out their children, and they will say, "Here is my son. He's part of Boko Haram. Deal with him." For the first time, the Boko Haram members were dealt with by civilians. That was how we crushed. That time, Boko Haram had taken over everywhere, but the civilian JTF were able to deal with them. Now, when politicians came in again, you saw that they had to now water down everything and then disarm this civilian JTF. That's why Boko Haram is beginning to raise its ugly head. So this thing, the security know, if they want to clean this thing up, our soldiers are well able, but the boys are demoralized. So what has happened is that there is a seed planted in some of them that they are beginning to feel, okay, let me just play along so that I can have my own cut and I can have my own share. So the question, what you said is the political will. That's why I am saying to Nigerians now, you can't continue to sit down in your house. Somebody, you gave him one room out of your 4-bedroom. You gave him a room when he was stranded. And he was now able to get established in your house. Now the next thing is telling you, package all other rooms. It's my own house. This is a stranger. You gave him a place. And he said, if you don't leave, I will kill you. This is what is happening in Plateau and Benue, and part of what you see in Zamfara is the indigenous people that are being killed and massacred by these Fulani terrorists who believe that they are going to occupy those lands. So that's why I say it's not about tribal profiling. It's about a people who are the brain behind what is ongoing. So all the presidency needed to do is for the presidency for once to say, Chief of Defense Staff, hey, no more sitting here. In the next 24 hours, I want to see this record before me. And you will see the record. So that is just the answer to what you asked.
Let me ask you, you mentioned something that is interesting. The Fulani, according to the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, he said that Fulani people across Africa, they have the right to come into any country, come into Nigeria and occupy the forests in Nigeria. When you hear something like that, what does that say to you in terms of the problems we have in Nigeria and the solution? If a governor of a state is saying that any Fulani from any part of the world, they have the right to come into Nigeria and occupy anywhere they wanted to.
Okay, the question is, when I used to raise those points and certain governors in the north were calling me, I was, let me use the word, I was too confrontational. I was saying what was not. Now, when it started hitting the panel, then from there, when the thing started, it was majorly in the Middle Belt, Christian communities, and Christians have been massacred. And I just told you about one. I was there 200 and something. Another one was 500 and something. Flouted. So now it's happening in the panel, and they are doing it to the Hausas. So that's why you are hearing Zamfara governor coming out saying, this thing is this thing. They are speaking the truth now. In the north, they are asking their people, take up arms, defend yourself. So what the Bauchi State governor is saying, to me, these are the type of statements that it's making me angry with some of these people. With one side of the mouth, they say something, another side of the mouth, they say a different thing for the purpose of political relevance. But what shall it profit a man if you will gain the whole world and lose his soul? What's the whole profit? So the truth is that Fulanis have no right. Let me use the word. They have no right. I'm a Fulani man because my grandmother was a Fulani woman. So it's my tribe. We have no right to just enter anywhere and just occupy. If that is it, then I shouldn't be paying for land. I should enter anywhere. I should enter anywhere and just settle my family. But anywhere I have gone to in Nigeria to say, give me plot, they will say, okay, even though you're coming to help us do this, you have to have the blessing of the locals, but not to force your way on the people. I mean, that is not done. It's just like going to the eastern part of Nigeria and then go and force them and say, I must take your land by force. No, I have to go by the elders, by the people of the land. They have to agree to give me the blessing so that we can live. They are the owners. Yes, everybody is a migrant in Nigeria. All of us travel, migrated from one place or the other. But the fact is that they're the first settlers. They are the people that have been living there generations and generations of over 500 years. You that have come to meet them, you need to respect them. And that's what my people in Borno are, the Kanuris. The fact is that we go to a particular place, we respect the people. Why are you not having this thing with Kanuris all over Nigeria? Why are you not having that with Ibra people? Why are you not having that with Hausa people, killing everybody everywhere? Why? Because they respect the people in their places. So, Hausa person has a relation in Niger. Hausa man has a relation in Cameroon. Hausa man has a relation in Ghana. Hausa man has a relation in Chad. The same way Fulani has relations all across the Sahel. We all have relations. There is no genuine northerner that would tell you he doesn't have cousins across the border. No. That's why you hear Buhari talk about doing things in Niger. Because he has cousins there. So before this amalgamation and all of these things that was done to Africa, we were just under a particular territory. Like for me, it's the Kano Borno Empire. It spanned to Mali. So basically, you have relations, but you also know that you are a Nigerian for this, for God's sake. And so you cannot enter. I can't go to Chad and try to say I'm going to force my way, because I can speak Kanuri or can speak full day or can speak Hausa. I can't go to Niger Republic. I must respect them with the boundary line. And that is basically what is required in this time. So what the governor is saying is part of the issues we are having. And that's why I'm contending with these people. That somehow you find that something has gone wrong with their brain. He's there. Will he allow his family to be slaughtered? He's not a Fulani man. He's from one of the tribes in Bauchi State. But will he allow his family to be slaughtered? Will he allow his people to be displaced the way other communities are? Because you've been able to secure your place, then you think that you would just talk anyhow. Everybody has the right to do anything across Nigeria. I do, just like I've said now, I have moved around Nigeria. So nobody can stop me. But the fact is that you can't invade the owners of the place and kill them and take ownership. No, that is not acceptable. That is genocide. That is evil.
You've been very critical of Nasser El-Rufai. And recently he said something that is wrong for people to pay Fulani headsmen to stop killing their people. We know in an old interview that he acknowledged that he did the same thing. Now, when you see somebody like that join ADC, and even I saw a picture of him holding hands with P2B, what do you make of that image?
All right. Well, I will tell you this. I'm watching. I will tell you. I'm watching. There is a saying. There is a saying that if you're a lizard in Nigeria and you go to America, you cannot become a crocodile. El-Rufai, what El-Rufai is, except something supernatural has happened. And of course, he will have to repent before Nigerians. If he repents, genuinely, I would say to basically we believe it. But what El-Rufai has done, the destruction El-Rufai has caused in Kaduna State, by the grace of God, I don't boast in my capacity and strength, but I think I was one man that moved to Kaduna while he was a governor to speak up for the people. I resisted his government by the grace of God. Why? El-Rufai, when he was minister of the FCT, he did remarkable things, even though there are certain things I didn't like in terms of certain demolitions, but he brought development to the FCT. So I thought with that kind of a spirit, and because he was also relating with Pastor Tunde Bakare and a few other people, so I thought, okay, good. When he became the governor, okay, that's it. You know, you'll be able to transform Kaduna. But when I saw him champion the Fulani agenda, when I saw it, that's why I confronted. Then the second thing is I saw him championing the Islamic thing. And that's why he, in Kaduna, that is a state that you have virtually 50-50 in terms of the population, Christian Muslims in Kaduna state. And Kaduna has been a state where the people have been staying together. We've had religious crisis. The past administrations have helped to quell that. Then you come with a divisive thing, and then Muslim agenda. Oh, that was one of the most destructive things. Then the way he punished the southern Kaduna people. Oh, the way El-Rufai humiliated the southern Kaduna people. So now he's crying because of what they did to him. He was part of the agenda of the Muslim ticket. You are hearing some of the Islamic clerics shouting now, robbing and mocking Christians, that we gave support to Peter Obi. These Christians, they have been disgraced. And the fact is that I didn't support anything religious. I supported justice and fairness. That's what I stood for. And so I said it must be a southern candidate. Among the southern candidates, who is the most qualified to me that would be able to handle Nigeria in terms of less corrupt person? At least, let's say, 90% less corrupt is Peter Obi. So that's why I supported Peter Obi. At least with that, you'll be able to correct the errors of the past. But El-Rufai drove this Muslim agenda. And what God has done is God is greater than man. When the president became the president and then they were on with their mission, God in his own ultimate way, he started changing things. So to their amazement, the agenda didn't work. Right now, the people that are crying most in Nigeria are the northerners who voted. The northerners who gave them that vote, they are the ones, the most impoverished place, the place where people are really suffering is northern Nigeria. So they saw the reality. That's why I'm telling you that in those protests, they are saying, look, Prophet, if you give us Christian, we are ready now, whoever you're going to bring, because we have learned that our clerics have deceived us. So El-Rufai, I'm watching. That's why I've not made any statement. I'm just watching it. I'm just watching it, what they are doing. Even the people in the ADC, I'm just watching. Until they come out to tell us sincerely what they want to do. Because we cannot be deceived. I will tell you the truth. If we will not get the right person, and that's what we're trusting God that one of the political parties will continue to work in the grassroots. And there is one of the polished guys among. Peter Obi is there. There is the Prince Adewale is there. That is a very sharp guy. Very, very sharp guy. That is another person I would tell you has the capacity to fix Nigeria. Prince Adewale. That is another person that has capacity to fix this country. I can tell you that from my analysis of politicians. Okay, so these are two. I'm giving you just two. And then, of course, if the president, former President Jonathan, that is another person that if he has the right team, will do the great job of rescuing this country. But what I'm saying is, we are watching them. We're watching them and praying while we are doing our own job behind on the ground with the ordinary Nigerian. We're trying to get ourselves. Let's get our bearing first. Let's get our minds together. Then we know how to deal with those guys.
Thank you, Prophet. I will bring people in to join the conversation in a few minutes. But before I do that, there's one question I wanted to ask you about looking at what is shaping up in the next election, and thinking about Jonathan that you mentioned. I remember that when Jonathan was in power, men of God, big men of God like Adeboye, they led protests. They were at the forefront of the charge to change things and to force change, including removal of oil subsidy and things like that. Complaining about, but they disappeared. What happened to them? Do you know?
You see, let me say that something happened during the Jonathan time. And I will tell you, you see, people, there is also the background story. Jonathan's time, the economy, yes, was growing. Investors were really investing and all of that. But there was massive corruption, massive corruption. Secondly, you realize there was this killing that was going on, and the killing came up to the peak of it. Of course, we have now discovered that there were politicians, together with the late president of Buhari, who were actually bringing in people to do this killing for political reasons. So that was what basically informed Baba Adeboye coming out, to demand that this bloodletting must stop. That was it. Okay? And it wasn't the subsidy, it was that one. The one of the subsidy and all of that, it was for Stumba Bakare and others. But Baba Adeboye's own was the bloodletting was becoming so much. And then the other thing was the corruption. He was doing well with some of the people like Ngozi, Adeshina, Okwezili, with few of them. But the fact was there were some of the people, like the petroleum minister, they were milking Nigeria dry, real milking. Now, Jonathan has been invited by church leaders, top church leaders, sat down and said, look at this, what is going on. Look at the corruption. Look at this. Look at this. And then, of course, with some of the plots by some of the corrupt guys in this region where I am. And after that, to have that will, rather the next thing we saw was a different thing. Even though I stood for Jonathan, we stood for this thing for him in the last moment, that he should be the one voted, because I know what is going to come out of Buhari. I know. It's not that I didn't know. I knew what was going to come. So, but that of Baba Adeboye, that protest of him leading up, it was because of the bloodletting. And you remember that.
Prophet, somebody can say that there are more now than even when Jonathan was in power.
Yes, but what I have always told people is this. At the age Baba is now, let me use the word. The Bible says that your children shall contend with the enemies at the gate. If your sons are talking and they are speaking, and you know that what they are saying is what you will say. I mean, to me, it was like the case of Samuel in the Bible. When Goliath was intimidating the entire nation of Israel, Samuel was still alive as the renowned prophet. He was the one that installed leadership and all of that. But he didn't say nothing. Because he anointed two people. He anointed Saul, he anointed David. So between the two, one should take responsibility. Saul failed, but David didn't fail. David took the challenge at the risk of his life. And that was how Goliath was dealt with. If you don't know, I'm saying this this government feels why I'm doing what I'm doing is because the Pastor Adebo is giving me all the support, all the backing. So that's why you see that they are. Have you seen the First Lady? Have you ever seen the First Lady attend any church service in the Redeem camp? Okay, that's to tell you something is on. It's because they believe that Baba Adebo did not give them the support. They believe he gave support to Peter Obi. Number two, they believe that for me to confront system and the government, he is behind me because they know I am his son. I respect him. To be honest, I respect him as one man. I have worked closely, a man that has the heart of a child, a lover of God and people and nation. What Pastor Debo is doing in northern Nigerian churches and people is beyond comprehension in terms of his support. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm here. If I'm speaking and I'm confronting the system, I mean, it is not right that he should also be coming out alone. No. Where if anything gets tough and I have lost my strength, okay, at that time, a stronger masquerade can come out. But as long as the other masquerade is on the field, the bigger masquerade should sit down in the house.
All right, we are so much out of time in terms of my conversation with you. We have to invite you again because we've not even touched your transformation. In 2013, you had an epiphany where you transformed and you became a Christian. I want to ask you.
2000, not 2000, 1980, 82.
Oh, 1980, 82 or 83? 83, sorry.
82.
Oh, 82. Okay. I got 83 here. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to say, was it not? I hear that in some parts of the north, if you're a Muslim and you become a Christian, that it's a very big risk that you could be killed.
That's what I went through.
I know you were excommunicated by your family, your father. But has that changed?
That changed. Basically, that changed several years ago. Before my father passed on, that changed completely.
Oh no, I know about your father, but I mean for other people who might decide to be a Christian, who might be a Muslim but decide to be
a little bit of it has changed, not much of it, a little bit of it. But then, with some of us on the ground, a lot has happened. Where you oppress, for instance, this death thing, I've gone through it. That's why the one of the last one that I don't use security before. I go my thing and all of that. But then it was Jonathan who had to provide security for me because I was fired, and that was worse. It was between Maiduguri and Damboa. It was the Islamic jihadist, and they thought they had gotten me, and all of that. So God saved me. I've gone through several other ones. 9, I told you, 9 assassinations. And basically, most of it was coming from let me use the word, the Islamic terrorists, the Islamic fanatics, who believe that hadith that speaks about fatwa, that when you convert from Islam, you should be eliminated. Yes, it's still in vogue. As some people are going through it. But God helping us with what we've been able to do and confront by the grace of God. You've seen that even when believers are confronted by government in some parts of the north, I fly in there. I fly in there to stand with the people, because if you want to kill, go ahead, but things must be gotten right. This is our country, and religion is a choice. It's not something that anybody should force anybody. And if you know you're doing what is right, why are you afraid of somebody converting? What for? So, with the message, by God's grace, some of us are putting out and what we're doing, and also the collaboration with some of the Islamic clerics now, there is the understanding that is coming. So, there's so much like what used to be before. The moment you just got converted, you'll be gone down. Somehow the converts get to escape. And we have massive number of Northerners today, by the grace of God, that are believers in Christ, and they are living well with their family. Muslims and Christians. But that still law, that thing is still there in the Sharia law. So they still follow it, but it's mild in certain areas. That's all I would say.
Mm. All right, all right. Let me bring in our people and get them to be involved in the conversation. We'll take a break. If you need a break at any point, I think maybe take 2 questions and take a break, and we'll round up. I know your time. I know you just arrived home, and I understand, but this is very important to so many people, and they want to have an opportunity to talk to you. All right. So let me bring in people. When I bring you in, please just ask your question. Not too much talk, so that we can get a lot of people involved in the conversation. All right. I'll start with you, Mr. James. You've been here for a while, listening to our conversation. Go ahead, Mr. James.
Yes, thank you very much. You are welcome, our guest. I hope you
Thank you,
can
sir.
hear me. Okay, good.
I can hear you.
Let me start by quoting a Russian writer. I can't pronounce the Russian name, they are complicated. He said that the second half of a man's life is made up of nothing but the habits he acquired during the first half. That's how the Russian put it. You told us here that you are, should I say, a repentant jihadist. You said so. You were a jihadist, you've turned a new leaf, you've changed your religion. We've seen quite a lot in this country, we've heard quite a lot. And to my slight surprise, you spice your conversations with religion. God has no role whatsoever to play in these problems we are grappling with in Nigeria. In Revelation chapter, I think 12, verse 7 or so, 12 verse 7, Apostle John said, war broke out in heaven.
Please quote it again. Revelation chapter 12.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 7, if I'm correct. It's a bit long, I read the book. Yes, I think I'm correct. Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. War broke out in heaven, and the devil and his angels, something, and they were cast out of heaven. If God is in a position to solve our problem in his domain in heaven, there should be no outbreak of war. It means he has enough problems to contend with instead of poking his nose into our problems here on earth. Now, you see, I'm not too happy with the religious aspect because look at South Africa. For 400 years, they prayed to God to solve the problem of apartheid. God turned a deaf ear to their prayers. In 1912, the ANC was formed. And by
I think you are
1994,
supposed to ask a question.
excuse
Are
me,
you?
I'm making a point. Because it seems
James, because we don't have a lot of time and
No,
there are
no,
many people.
Can you ask the question, please, so that I can answer you?
Yeah, the issue is that I don't have confidence in what you are saying. Are you truly
Okay,
repentant?
okay,
Repentant? You
thank
call
you,
yourself
thank you.
repentant? Are you truly repentant? What is the guarantee that
I don't argue with anybody. If I
no,
am
no,
not repentant, my fruits show, Mr. Man. My fruits are
no,
there.
this is what you're telling us. We are not there to find out the authenticity or not. We
You
cannot do
don't
that.
need to. Find out
I
from
need to.
Nigeria's friend.
I
Are you
need to.
Nigeria?
I'm not
Find out
serious.
from Nigerians. Don't ask
No,
me. Ask
James,
Nigerians.
James, because we have a
Okay,
lot.
let me come in here, please. Sir, let me just tell you. I don't care whether you believe there is God or no God. There is God. That's number one. All right. Number two, God is the God that gives us the power of what is called will and the power of choice. What you saw in that book of Revelation is showing you the God who gives all that he has created the free will, the choice. God is not a manipulator. No. God gives people choice. He created you in his being. His being is the power of will. So when you're talking about that book of Revelation, please get your knowledge right. That's why you have a free will. That's why your family has a free will. That's why you have a choice. If God was going to box everybody, all of us would have been thinking the same thing. All of us would have been the same color. All of us would have been the same shape and size. But God created us in diversity. God gave all of us choices. It is because of that choice Satan rebelled. But you saw the end of it. Satan was not in control. God's institution dealt with the matter. It was not God who fought it. Michael and his angels fought it, because that is God. God put system and structure. So we must respect that. That's number one. You're sitting there, Mr. James, you would have been looking brown if God was a dictatorial God. You would have been talking with one
Don't preach
language,
to me.
but
We
look
are
at
talking
you.
politics. We are talking
You
Nigerian
are
problem.
speaking a language that is not yours. You are speaking English.
Don't
You are
preach
not
to
an
me.
Englishman.
Don't preach to me.
Mr. James,
All
let's
right. Now
respect
let
our
me
guest.
land. Let me correct this because you brought it to me.
This is
I
not a
need to
church.
correct it.
This is not a
All right.
church.
Number
Don't preach
two,
to me.
you said I blemish everything with religion. What gave me life? What gave me the capacity to give life to people in Nigeria? I have been able to take care of millions of Nigerians, wipe away their tears, get them food on their table, change their accommodation, upgraded their school. I have school right now. Come to Jos. Don't ask me. Don't ask Isa El Buba. Just come here. I open school. 80% of the students in that school are on scholarship, free. I am taking care of it and my family. What did it is because of my relationship with God. God in me put the conscience in me, put the conscience to love my enemies. So you cannot take, if you are in America, my grandchildren, grandpa is in the studio now. If you are in America, please read your history well. America that you are enjoying today, democracy in America was established by Christians, religious men who brought the Bible and they want to do the Bible principle. That's why America is standing out in the community of nations. Yes, there is moral bankrupt, but you cannot take the God factor. Whoever it is can speak his own mind in America. Why? Because the founding fathers raised a Bible and said, this is the foundation. Yes, there is corruption. God gives us all the choices. But what I have done because of my conversion, I would have been part of a killer. I'm not killing anymore. I'm giving life. That's conversion. That's the touch of God. I'm no more burning people's houses because of an ideology. Now I am protecting people. By the grace of God, I'm not boasting. 1% of what I have done, Mr. James, you can't stand it if it is not God on your side. You can't. You know, you sit down in the studio, we talk anyhow. You would come to Nigeria and do what I'm doing and see. But if God is on one side, I can't deny my maker. I can't deny him. He helped me. Today that I can stand to widows. Do you know the number of widows today by the grace of God? I have given them smile. Today they are not thinking of anything. They have resources on their hand because of God. What will take me? Look at me. I am blessed by God with my position and my age. These are my grandchildren here. I drove all the way from the north to the western part of Nigeria. I drove on the roads of Nigeria, not in the aircraft. What do you think that is? You think that is just human knowledge? It is the touch of God. When God is in place, things change. When people fear God. But then God does not force people. If you choose to fear devil, to follow devil, then you become destructive. Just like the man that gone Charlie, the young man that gone Charlie. That is a choice. It's a choice that he chose that he's going to be devilish. He killed Charlie. So God will not hold anybody. South African thing you're talking about, sir, I put down my life for South Africa. I was part of the people that raised money for South Africa, apathy to collapse. I was part of the people. I was part of the people rolling rallies across Nigeria for South Africa. We were praying for South Africa. Please, there are things we should sit down as a people and think that we should know by history. I am a historian. When you study history, You know good and bad. This Bible is a story of two people, good and bad. The ones who fear God and the ones who don't fear God. That is just the summary of the Bible. That's
All
why
right.
in Nigeria, you see pastors who are corrupt, pastors who are using preaching to collect money from people. But that does not mean that where there is fake, there is no original. There is original because of the fear of God. So what I'm saying is, don't just come to just throw that. You don't need to hear from me, sir. Come to Nigeria. I'm not this thing. Come to Nigeria. Go to the street. Ask of Isa El Buba. My works are there. All right. The houses I told you I have built, they are there. I didn't get cover from government. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And that is what I have.
The fear of God is the death of wisdom. The fear of God.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you.
I have finished. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. James. Let's go to KJ. KJ, you're next. Make it
Yes.
quick, KJ. So that way.
Grandpa is in the studio now.
Okay, Prophet, thank you so much. I will not say I don't know of your work. I have followed your work over the years, so I know you very well. I know your ministry. I also I did a story of Dogona Hawa when that massacre took place. So I know most of what you're talking about, how that has been effective. Thank you for all you're doing. Now, my question is, you have enumerated how you were able to put some form of structure that have helped, to help the poor, especially the people who are needy in your community and around your community. Is there a way that you can broaden that to the rest of the Nigerian churches so that they can adapt that model to use to also empower their people? Because the more people that are empowered, the better the body of Christ can showcase what the faith is all about. Instead of them just buying private jet, because I know prophet, I know you don't have private jet, not because you couldn't afford it, but you have used the money to help people. So instead of them buying private jet, can they use that money for some form of empowerment of their people, so that we can.
I will tell you the truth, sir. I will tell you the truth. You see, I don't miss. I am a person who stands by the path of truth. The Nigerian church, not all, 10% are not. But I will tell you the much Nigerian church is doing. If it is not because of the Nigerian church, I will be honest. Sorry, just a moment. My grandchildren, they have. Please go on, me, grandma. I will soon be with you, right? I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be with you since I came. I'm sorry. Huh? Grandpa will be with you. Go and be with. When I'm done in the studio, I'll be with you, right? I'm sorry. Okay, go and give yours. Go and give the other one. I'm coming. Baba, go on with grandma. Yes, give all of them. Okay, grandpa. Thank you. Give everybody. All right, I'm coming. Okay, just give me the next 20 minutes. I'll be done. All right.
All right.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We understand. Most of the people you see here, they have grandchildren too.
Oh, praise God! How loving they are. Now, this is the sacrifice these grandchildren are making. They don't enjoy me, their grandfather, because of the people. I will tell you the truth, sir. Tears is coming to my eye because sometimes people don't understand. People don't know. If you know the true Nigeria, unless you are at the bottom of what is going on. Some of us have. My family have lost in terms of having me at this age, at this stage of my life. 85% of my life is for the people. These children don't enjoy it. Look at it now. I just came back from a journey. My wife hugged me while coming in. I've not sat down with her. I came into the studio to have time with you because I gave my word. But I've denied other people that because I didn't want to talk with anybody. Right? So I will tell you, if it is not because of the Nigerian church, I will be honest. What would have happened in Nigeria would have been terrible. If I begin to count the churches that are doing a lot in northern Nigeria, some of the people you call having private jet, do you know they're flying with their private jet, coming with the food stuff, and then scholarship, children in scholarship? If you see the amount of money going out to help the people, there are farms established by churches that right now people are farming. There are industries that I know right now people are working. If not for the Nigeria, let me tell you, even the crisis in northern Nigeria in the IDPs, if not the Christian, the Nigerian church, I don't know. Nigeria would have not been where it is together. What is holding this country? I'll be honest with you. What is holding this country is the Nigerian church. There is the 10% very corrupt pastors, terrible. And I'm fighting them. I don't spare them. I'm fighting them hard. You know, because whatever God has done to us, it should be for the benefit of blessing. Our role is in transforming the society. So what I'm saying is, they are asking me, Prophet El Buba, how did you do this? How did you do this? And do you know that they come, we sit down, we look at it. I said, this is how I did it. This is how I did it. This is what we need to do. And so they are now taking up what I have done. The agri thing that I've started now, many of them are beginning to do it. Right now, there is Gary, there's a park here. If there's a park here, I would have shown you Gary that is being packaged by a church group that have started their own. Cooperatives we have started, you know, to set up a cooperative where the people can be able to access some stock loan, but properly monitored. Because I will tell you, sir, apart from just helping out, Nigerian morality is down. The level of destruction of the moral values is down. I will tell you that at a point I was indebted with the bank because I would collect to support, and then my children are the ones who are doing things with me. Their salaries, 90% of the salary of my children comes into my hand to help the poor. So the Nigerian church is doing much. Education, I can't tell you about that one so much. You talk about relief. So the only thing is that we needed to just a moment, sir, please. Granny.
You know what, Prophet? Let's take a break, 5 minutes.
Okay, please.
So that you can
please let me take care of
yeah, and then we'll be back so that people will not miss this chance.
Give me.
All right.
I need to continue. I'm all with people.
Thank you, everybody who has joined us and those who are still joining us. We are going
to the panel.
Chukuna malugo yo biadi ocha Agaranya chogo kowe bili Agaranya chogo kowe rienio Owe chuku bezie chuku Nuche chukwa busigi fegemeo Nuche chukwa busia ifegemeo Nifo solo ne asi alibazie Oboye bebe agaranya muliba Oboye wuru agaranya mebibe solea Mano agaranya uwa Oboye afyozi elipakwa Agaranya chogo kowe bili Agaranya chogo kowe rienio Oboye chikubezio lisa Kodili ma kodili bemo Kodili wakema kodili wanima Naino kwane we beluge beluo Kodili ma kodili bemo kodili kemo kodili heyo ibedwe me wane nikadie zibo hewo
All right, welcome back, everybody. If I can find everybody else, thank you so much for staying with us, and thank you, Prophet Isa El Buba, for staying with us. We appreciate it. Let me say that we are short of time. He's been traveling and he's just it's late. So I will ask everybody when I bring you on, please go straight to your question. Don't make speeches so that we can get to as many people as possible. He gave us, I'm assuming, 20 more minutes. So please, let's just stick to the questions. I'm sorry, I know we used to having conversations, and I promise you I will invite him another time when we can have long conversation with him. John Abba, you're next. Unmute yourself, John Abba.
Dr. Rudy, thank you for having me, and Prophet Isa El Buba, thank you for coming. And I've been here waiting for as much as you started the program, just to have the privilege to talk to you, and also to thank you so very much for all you do. It's been a while. I know you came to Heaven Glorious recently or last few years. I was unable to see you in Dallas, Texas. I'm fan of yours, and I want to thank you for all you do for Nigeria. My question is that if you are given a choice between Peter Obi and Prince uh, Adewale Adebayo, I think, who will you endorse to be the president? Thank you.
All right. I would have. I would say I would have left that for now on my on my chair on my chest. I've actually not been to the States for over 5 years now. Uh, I chose not to travel to anywhere in the world. I shut down my international travels. I decided to concentrate on your Kenyan land, because I said to all of you in America, in the diaspora, a day is coming when you will not be thrown out and be hated because of your skin.
but because of your intelligence. And so it's while that is coming, it's time to prepare your Canaan land, because a time is coming. A Pharaoh that knew no Joseph will come. And so I decided to stay in Nigeria for over 5 years. I did not smell the international airport. All invitations, I shut them down. And I was traveling from village to village in Nigeria, um, doing what I am doing to see how do we get things right. If you're blaming everybody, if everybody is blaming everybody, where do we get things right? It has to start somewhere. So it was because of that I decided to pay the price. My children, I give you example. These children, I thank God for them. You see, why I started weeping, I couldn't hold it, because when I saw what this man, I felt. If you know how much my children, because they believe in me, their father, and they saw me fighting a cause that is a thankless cause for the sake of people I don't know, but just that I don't like to see ordinary people suffer. My children are working abroad. They schooled, they did their masters and all of that, and the first class degree, first degree with distinction, second degree with distinction. And they were working with a Jewish firm. They were sending me thousands of their dollars salary as support to me, and said, Daddy, take this to help run. No human being was giving me a dime anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. It was this, my family. And then when I saw the way things were going, I told them, come back and join me in Nigeria. You all know what it means for stable, successful young people to ask them come to Nigeria, especially the North. These children respected me. No argument. They followed me. They said, Baba, if this is it, we will come. My children, these are their children. You are seeing them here. They're now doing a remote, the company they were working with said they have never been to Africa. They said they're going to follow them because of how their productivity, the output was so amazing. So the companies follow them. They are still sustaining them. They are here in Nigeria. They are here. If you look at the protest in August, you will see my children were at the front line. So it was not a thing whereby you are pushing people's children. You are sent your own. Many Nigerians have carried their children abroad. They have the second passport to run. But I said, no, what we say we must do. So I just want to deal with that aspect of this other person because it's painful. This is the reason why some people choose not to pay the price for Nigeria. I will tell you the truth. It's because of people like this other man, James. That's why sincere people are saying, what for? At the end of the day, this is what you get. So, but I am doing it in even though people do some of these things, I am doing it not for people. I'm doing it for the sake of God, who showed me mercy and my children. And today we are helping Nigerians. So they go to this thing, to like the man who asked me about what the church is doing. The church in the south is very rich. We in the north were very poor. And if I had the resources they have, it would have been a different thing. But I'm reaching out. We are sitting down. We're looking at the blueprint. They have to ask me to develop a blueprint. I develop a blueprint too. And many of them are using it. And I can tell you a lot is going on. He told me he was in Dogonahawa. Asked him, there is a name of that place called Dogonahawa. I changed it to the original name called Giambru. I'm the one who put the first signpost when the over 500 people were massacred. So there's so much that Nigeria needs. And we Nigerians in the diaspora, we need to come to this consciousness. Is our Canaan land. Even if you're going to empty your whole relations, you can't take 10% to America. But one day is coming, America will not be able to hold Nigerians. And I'm telling you this, keep my word. Britain will not be able to hold Nigeria. Your last cut will be this home, this home. And that's why I'm fighting. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Sleepless night. Sleepless. For the number of days I've not slept well. because of the Nigerian matter. So, but you in the diaspora would need to also, it's not all. You will always have people who have a different mindset because God gives us that choice. But I am encouraging the few who reason correctly. You need to pull yourself together to really look at the blueprint. How do we go? How do we change things? So, to your question now, if you talk about Adewale is one person that is coming up, and I would tell you, I've done Peter Obi. Peter Obi, I still stand with Peter Obi. I love him. I've told him and Adewale they should go and sit down together and reason together and do certain things. Even before this coalition came, Peter Obi was in my house. I sat Peter Obi, I said, go and talk with Adewale. Adewale is a very brilliant, sharp guy from the southwest. And so even if the things is going to look at the issue of the one term remaining for Tinubu, and will now say, okay, let's concentrate on the southwest. I think the best person from the southwest, as of now from the southwest, is Prince Adewale. If you talk about the region now, so that is what I would say. Prince Adewale is somebody that Nigerians will need to support him, not even just about the present, but even about the future. Building, because one thing is, all with sometimes Nigerians do is fire brigade. Boo, 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 just, and then after that we cool down. No, these wicked people are vicious, they are deadly, they are consistent, they are steadfast in doing what they're doing. Good people must also be good, consistent, intentional, and then pursue. So that people like Prince Adewale, some of you that are there, that God has blessed you with all the experience, will be able to come in and transform your country. This country, no nation in the world is like your country called Nigeria. I've been to nations by the grace of God, but I would tell you, not America. But one day have I ever looked at it and said, no, America doesn't have 10% of what God has endowed Nigeria with. Nigeria has very, very evil system in terms of leadership. And that is because of the negligence of people like us. We left it to these wicked people, and they were growing and growing and growing. So they were able to establish their roots. Now we are uprooting them, and we have to establish a system. So that's why right now there is a movement called Initiative for Better and Brighter Nigeria. Is what I'm running with. That gave Peter Obi. If you look at it during the Peter Obi thing, there was the coalition called TBBN. Is the group I established. And then, by the grace of God, there is a system, political party we're picking up. We're building that from the grassroots. So just say between Prince Adewale and Peter Obi, they are two good candidates that will be able to lead Nigeria. But if you want to talk about now, let's look at the Southwest now. In the political thing, I will tell you this: 101% Prince Adewale. That is what Nigeria needs. That guy is brilliant. That's one, his humility, two, his passion. You know, I have seen it within this period, and I would say that is one Nigerian every Nigerian should watch out for in terms of presidency.
In my addition, I don't want to delay you. I know you have. I'm not asking you two different questions. Rudy, I don't ask two questions.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that. I'm for other people, since you are reading your glasses and I'm training your forefathers from the glasses, I'll let go. It's nice to see you, Prophet Isa El Buba, and hope to see more of you. I'll talk to Rudy. Maybe I'll get your contact. I think we went to the same school, but we talk later. Thank you, man.
Amazing. God bless you. Thank you very much. So Zakabani Abuma Maki Kenoko.
Yeah, senu de zoa na go de.
Worka Sanuko.
Sanu, sir.
All right, thank you, Janaba. So let's go to Chim. Chim, you can see we have about 10 people waiting. So let's quickly get to as much as we can. If I don't get to you, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Go ahead, Jim.
All right, thank you, Rudolph, and thank you for bringing Prophet El Buba. Prophet El Buba, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, sir.
No, this is not a comment. I don't think anybody who's been following political activities in Nigeria from the pulpit hasn't seen your videos flying all over the place. So I personally commend you for that. My question is simple. One is, I know you ministers usually meet. I don't know whether it is either CAN or the Pentecostal one. Just help me. I can't remember the name of the Pentecostal umbrella body, but whichever one it is, either CAN or I know ministers you guys meet. My question is, outside of discussing religious issues, do you discuss socio-political matters as it affects Nigeria? And do you people tell yourselves the truth? I know you've said things here. You've tried to defend a couple of people. That's fine. I won't mention names. Do you really call each other out, especially when you see some of the people playing political correctness? Because I don't think political correctness is what got America to where it is, like you alluded. And I'm happy you mentioned Charlie Kirk. So Charlie Kirk has paid a price for his views. He didn't shoot a gun at anybody. He just went into the enemy's territory to go and have a conversation with them. And he's lost his life. So people might say all sorts of things. We can talk about the African American people who have lost their lives from the pulpit. We know I Had a Dream and all that. These people spoke out. They were not speaking political correctness. I think the issue is that a lot of Nigerians feel some of these A-class celebrity fathers of the faith in Nigeria, they play a lot of political correctness. They don't speak boldly to power. The way you're speaking, everybody knows you speak boldly. So I know you've tried to defend them, but the question is, why did they speak political correctness, and what kind of things do you tell each other when you see people quasi-acting APC scripts and all that? Do you really tell yourself the truth? That's my question.
Okay, sir. I've just told you just one example. I gave an example. You won't have all Nigerian pastors agree with what we're doing. If I tell you that some of them are extremely very angry with my stand, with our stand, some are very, very. One, because you can't bribe me. I can't be in a cycle where you will collect money. I will reject it, and I will speak against what you're doing. And by God's grace, we sit. I will tell you recently, these fathers sat with me and told me certain things. I won't be able to say everything on air. But like I said, I grew up, I'm sorry to say, I have been trained by a father. And my father was one of the top, by God's grace, Second World War veteran, longest survived in Nigeria. He died at the age of over 180. But one thing my father taught me is when you have elders who so much believe in you as a son, not for one day should you let them down, or should you allow them to go fight the battle that you need to go fight. And that has never left me, sir. That has never. It is because of that statement I'm doing what I'm doing for the average Nigerian. I sat with the key church fathers. These people have done so much for this country. Pastor Ayori Sajafo, if you know the threat on these people's lives from here at the north, Papa Omobude, Bishop Mike Okonkwo, Baba Adeboye, even Bishop Oyedepo of late that he's been silent. The man has been rough on the government, on the system, attacking. They feel that these people cannot be bought. Yes, there are certain that have been bought. That is true. And if like in the last meeting we had somewhere, those people were mentioned and we dealt with it. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that we don't spare. You see, by the grace of God, I fear eternity with God. And whatever I do or we do it for the sake of the future and God. So we speak the truth to ourselves. Look at Pastor of Dunamis. Do you know the risks this guy is been bringing on himself? Some of us that you see, it's not just risking ourselves, but even our children are not safe in any way. So these pastors are really, really doing their lot. Here in the north, I can tell you many of the pastors that have lost their lives because of this thing. So it's true that you have, let me use the word, I won't be able to say that 100%. No, at least 70%, I can tell you that 70% are on the side of seeing the new Nigeria. That is the reason why you are hearing the false allegation from some of these Islamic clerics with people like Erufai before, that it was a church project, it was a church thing that gave Peter Obi. To be honest, it wasn't just a church thing. We took this matter to the church leaders. Look, fairness. A northerner cannot rule for 8 years. Then another northerner, another Muslim will come and take over. We sat down, analyzed Peter Obi. Before I came out and I spoke for a southern candidate, and these fathers all followed, all agreed that truly Peter Obi had the gene, he has the all it takes to be able to work things out. That's why I asked a question: when did you see the first lady? She is a pastor in the Redeem. When did you see her in Redeem meeting? When did you see her in the Holy Ghost service? Since she got into that office. Not one day. Not one day. So there are people paying the price, and it's not everything you have to say in the public, on the newspaper and all of that. But we are working together with some key leaders. They are seeing, like for instance, next week, I'm going to be having a meeting here with some leaders. Upper week, I'm going to be having with another group of leaders. We're sitting down, reasoning together, and then coming to an understanding that this project must be fought and won. So understanding is coming. Some feel, no, they don't need to be political. But the reality is that whether you are political or not, it's not about being a politician. It's about standing for the path of truth to redeem a country that God has blessed. So by God's grace, I will tell you that 70% of church leaders are on the side of redeeming Nigeria.
All right. Thank you, Chim. Prophet, you tell me when you think you can. We have a lot of people waiting behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think I have 15 minutes for you, sir.
15 minutes. All right. 15 minutes. So
I add more 15 minutes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Ovie, go ahead. 15 minutes more. Please go straight to the question if you care about your friends who are waiting.
Pastor, in that what?
Cleo Slay Barkade.
Blabio Karim.
How Cleo? Hey, you nani?
Ni dandumbuani.
Nagani Kama namberebe.
Anyway, let me stay on God's
Okay, go straight because of the time.
Stay on God's time. Yes, you criticize the National Assembly with a religious word, corruption, that they are corrupt. You spoke of governors, and you also prescribe policies for the president. So my question is that what is on your bingo card in the future? Which of these are you contesting? Would you see you contest for? Governor, House of Reps, Senate, or the presidency?
No, sir. I was asked this same question when I had the privilege of addressing some congressmen when I came to the States some years ago. They actually asked me to run for the presidency of Nigeria. Congress is to Rice, they want African affairs. And I told them, I said, no, I am called to midwife. And my desire is not for any political position. If it was, a lot of people have been asking me to come out, and Nigerians and the diaspora and here. But I'm not interested. Basically, what I am interested in, I've been able to bring in governors. I gave you an example with the governor of Plateau State, Jonah Jang. By God's grace, I was the one who mentored him. I was the one who discipled him and gave him the blueprint. He took a state that was bankrupt, totally bankrupt, and was able to raise it. Plateau became the envy of every other state. Okay, so I can mention 1, 2, 3. So if I wanted governorship or some of this, I would have gone in for it, you know. But it's not about position; it's about making sure that we have a system. For now, for instance, there is no system on ground. There is no system on ground that will help to rescue and put things right. Until about 9 years ago, I started the movement, the Initiative for Better and Brighter Nigeria, and the offshoot of it is what you saw, by God's grace, that helped Peter Obi and other people, you know. So for now, my eyes are not on president or no president. The key thing is, let's get people that will be able to play the card properly and be able to follow the law, be able to give Nigeria a future. That's all I'm looking for. The ordinary people, I feel for the ordinary people. They shouldn't be suffering. They shouldn't be going through what they are going through. That's all I'm looking for.
All right. Thank you, Ovie. Let's go to Ernest. Ernest. Can you sit up, please? Ernest, please. I've been sending you messages. Can you sit up?
He's also muted.
Unmute yourself.
Okay. My own is a brief question.
Okay.
At what point are we going to agree that Nigeria will not work? Or is it possible? At what point are we going to say that this country is not workable?
All right. Thank you.
I don't know from which country you are, what you're talking from, but I want you to go and study the history of the country where you're talking from. They went through what we are going through. Nigeria was not like this, if you don't know. I saw Nigeria yesterday, and I'm seeing Nigeria today. And so there is a glorious future for Nigeria tomorrow. That's number one. Whether you talk about America or you talk about Britain, I love talking about the history of Britain mostly. You go study it. They were in worse condition than what we are going through, but transformation came. The Bible says, can a nation be born in one day? Surely when Zion travailed, a time is coming. And now, with what we're doing little by little, by God's grace, we're getting there. Nigeria is going to work. Nigeria is going to stand in the community of nations. Let me tell you something that will amaze you. Give Igbo people their nation. I'm telling you, in less than 24 hours, that nation will be scattered. I'm telling you the truth. Give Yoruba and say, Yoruba people, go Yoruba. They will scatter. You know what? Go and do what I'm telling you. A man, Igbo man from Enugu, does not believe in the Igbo man from Abia. The Igbo man from Abia does not believe in the Igbo man from Anambra ruling over him. The Igbo man from Anambra does not believe in the Igbo man in Ebonyi. What is keeping us is that God has so much brought us together that the way God brought this country out of the larger West African region is amazing. And so we are interdependent. That's the way God made it. The West, he placed them with so much this. The South, he placed them with so much this. The North, he placed them with so much this. So here is it. Nothing glorious ever comes out without a problem. We are in a problem right now. We were not there before. Nigeria was one of the best countries. Economy was working. I went to school. I was giving Basra money. I was giving transport to go home. I was going to school. Money was given to me. The food you eat in the school is the food that a rich man will eat in his house. That was in Nigeria. Electricity, stable. You go to the airport, you don't need visa. You fly to London without visa. You just buy ticket at the airport and fly. That's Nigeria. The Nigeria, I know Indians were serving us as servants. The Nigerian. Islands were here. So it's a disruption, yes, but we're coming out of it. by God's grace. And we are getting close.
All right, thank you, Ernest. Let's go to, I think I'm missing the sequence of people coming in. Tony, you're next.
Good evening, Dr. Damages, and greetings, Pastor. Welcome. Thank you for being at the platform.
Thank you.
Yes, I have been, I'm enthused with all that you said. I've been following you for years. Thank you for your courage, for all that you're doing for the country. Now, straight to my question. I have, every time I remember the issue with an aircraft that was said to be owned by a minister during the Jonathan era, where there was some issues with that minister's aircraft involved in some deal concerning arms and so on and so forth. There was so much furore. It appeared to me that the church was dragged in the mud over that issue. I'd like you to clarify. I'm sure you are aware of what I'm saying. If you can give some clarification for those of us who felt very bad over the issue. Thank you.
I was at the middle of it by God's grace. It was politically set up. That aircraft, few people who own private jets, they usually give it to people to run it so that the aircraft can sustain itself, because there's no way tithes and offering of church this thing can sustain. No, it's not possible. For instance, my fellowship here in Jos, our service with the hundreds of men and women, at the end of the day, on the service, offering and tithe is not more than 50,000 naira. It can't even provide transport for the people that we bring to service, So I was at the middle of it. It was political. Later on, you saw that there was a confession. There was the young guy that was used from my state, a Kanuri boy, that was used to amplify that. It was all geared towards attacking Jonathan and making sure that Jonathan didn't get that seat. So it was a northern thing, sponsored. That's why you see them confessing. If you look at it the past few weeks, they were saying they brought about the insecurity, the machineries that were brought in with Buhari and others. You saw them confessing. They set up also blackmail on sexual scandal on one of the ministers. It was El-Rufai who did that, got the lady, paid her. This one too in Kaduna, the guy who sponsored that news, it's Kaduna, he was paid. So now you see them coming out to say what they did to Jonathan. And the painful part of it was that the people that were very close to Jonathan were conniving to betray Jonathan. I know that if Jonathan was the one that was in power, Nigeria wouldn't have gotten to where we are, to be honest, to be realistic. So they badly wanted power. Buhari badly wanted power. And some of these northern guys. So that's why they did what they did. And then with some of the people that Jonathan was open to, for instance, his debt vice and others were people that Jonathan was open to. And so they were the ones that were using some of these things to connive with some people in the north. And that was how they escalated the thing. They discovered money for arms, that money was going to buy arms to fight Muslims and all of that. And that wasn't true. It's just like the trip Jonathan made with some church leaders to Israel. They said that Jonathan went to connive with the Israeli government to really fight, and they are the ones sponsoring the Boko Haram and what have you. But in the true sense of it, Jonathan went there to pray, but at the same time, they went to sit down with the pastors. They told Jonathan his weaknesses, his errors, what he needs to do to change. And then that was how we got to know who were the sponsors. That's why you had Jonathan said, among his soldiers, among the military, and among his government, they were the Boko Harams. It was that meeting that Jonathan saw everything. So it was politically sponsored. That's why, to the glory of God, I've said this again, they are all, look at them, nobody has forced them, they are all confessing what they did and they're apologizing for their actions.
Thank you,
That's why
Pastor.
they're
Thank
going.
you so much.
That's why they're going to be asking Jonathan now, come back, come back. We're sorry. That's why they're begging him. They're doing everything. Okay.
All right, thank you. We have about 4 minutes left, so there's no way I can get to everybody. But before I go to Jagun, I just want a question. I got a lot of questions from people when I posted that you were coming. I have to give at least one person a chance. This one says, what will it take to raise 2, 3, 4 or more of you?
It's you.
I'm not the one asking the question. He wants to know what it would take.
Why I say it's you, basically it's you. We all, as Nigerians, must come to the point where we look at Nigeria not as a nation with population of 200 million, but as one person. If one person does the 1% and the 1% does the 1%, we'll be able to get the Nigerians that will do the job. And this is what I'm doing. I'm not looking at the larger mass. I'm looking at catch one, we catch one, we catch one. That's why you see me drawing meetings, doing what have you. It's not easy to erase this greed in Nigerians, this self-centeredness in Nigerians. It's not easy, but God is helping us, because they have faith in one. They believe, they sit down, we talk about it, we deal with it, that the best way you live in life is not about you, it's about what you live when you're normal. And so you now, Dr. Damage, you are part of it. If you can join, then the other person will be part of it. I think we'll be able to have the 4.
Thank you so much. I'm happy that you mentioned that Dewala has been here several times. He's one of our usual guests. So we are doing our parts by highlighting people like you who are doing great work that people are recognizing. So that's our role. Thank you so much. Let me get to Jagun quickly so that we can get maybe one more person before we run out of time.
So let me give you, I know that my prayer time, let me give you 5 minutes more.
Okay, so what we're going to do, those people who are inside the studio already, you get your chance. But maybe, Prophet, maybe easier if they get 2 questions to you and then
That's
you answer
better.
2 at the same time. Okay, Jagun.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jagun, go ahead. After you, I will pick somebody else. You're muted, Jagun.
Thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you, sir.
Baba Isa, El Baba Isa. Very good to see you. I was very happy that you mentioned Palestine. I won't talk about that, but I'm just saying I'm happy that you mentioned it. I would like, obviously, for you to expand on your views on Palestine from your spiritual point of view. However, my actual question is, as we have had a Muslim ticket, as we have it now, which I believe it's the first time that's happened. I believe that the problem of Nigeria is everywhere, but it's particularly in leadership. And it's particularly the leadership that comes from the South, in my view. And I would like to see a Yoruba Igbo ticket, because I believe that these 2 people groups are very important to establishing Nigeria anew. I believe that it's not something that they would possibly do. I believe that there will be a lot of interruptions there. But I believe that this is the best way to pull the country together. And I'm not talking from a strictly tribalist viewpoint. I'm talking from a historical viewpoint where mistakes have been made in the communication, especially in the South. What is your view on that, given the fact that you spoke about Prince? I did something before. What is your view on that?
Okay, thank you, Jagan. We go quickly to, I think, Righteous Man in Nigeria. Let me get you before we run out of time. Righteous Man, you're next. We can't hear you, Righteous Man. Okay.
Okay, Dr. Damages, good evening. Prophet, good evening. I'm one of your fans, one of your followers. I so much love your teachings. And I was very happy when I heard that you are coming to our platform today. I appreciate
Thank
you.
you, sir.
You are doing what Archbishop Benson Dahusa was doing when he was alive. Unfortunately, since he left, nobody have been able to occupy that position, but God have raised you. But sir,
Thank you, sir.
respectfully, there are some statements you made that I disagree with you. You know, before the amalgamation of Nigeria, all these tribes you mentioned have existed without killing themselves. You know, the Yorubas have existed and they have developed. The Igbos have existed and they have developed according to the time they were in. Saying that if you allow them to go, they will kill themselves. No one will agree to rule over. No, we have Ohanes Ndigbo, which is the position of that presidency is not occupied by one state. They rotate it, and they have never been crisis because the person who is the president is from Ebonyi, and the Nimo man said no, it cannot happen. So I disagree with you, sir, respectfully on that. Then the question I want to ask you, do you believe in restructuring of Nigeria? Thank you.
All right, thank you, righteous man. So he will take the two questions and we'll see if we can catch forefathers and Mazi Obara.
Okay, thank you, sirs. Number one, quickly, the Palestine view. I will tell you, coming from the background as a former Islamic jihadist, Palestine was let me use the word, Palestine was formed. Let me use just so the word was formed to be able to drive at a goal, and so in the true sense of it, there was no Palestine. The people that are there that are claiming to be Palestinians, they came from other different parts of the Arab nation. And if you look at it, some of them cannot even, the Arabs in Saudi, the Arabs in other places don't actually take them serious as they are. But then it was a formation of usual thing. If you want to destabilize the people, you want to destabilize a region and all of that, you set up certain people, they establish themselves, they become like a tribe, and then they become the issue. So that is what it is on the Palestinian. I'm talking from the background as an Islamic jihadist, what we know, what I knew, what we were doing, and why the propaganda about Palestine and all of that. The other second question is leadership from the South. Basically, you look at it as a problem from the South, majorly Nigerian issue. I would say that the Nigerian issue is a national issue. The North, I would say this, that we are to be blamed for most of the things when it comes to leadership. And I would say this, when we lost certain of the northern leaders, some of the people that came up became self-centered and all of that. So that's why even their leadership has not helped the North. The North is much more backward than what it was before. And so the Southerners, I would see themselves as betrayers. They betray themselves. The solving the equation. I've been working among the Igbos. That's why the last person who asked me, who said he disagreed with me. I can take it that you disagree with me, but I've worked among your people for the Igbos for over 30 years. You can go and find out from them, Bishop Chukuma, Baba Ezefe, who is of blessed memory, and others. I have walked among the Igbos. I have told the Igbos, if Nigeria is going to fix her economy, Nigeria needs the Igbo man. God gifted that region with that capacity. But I told the Igbos their problem. So when Nnamdi came up, is it Nnamdi Kanu came up? I was one of the people who stood to support Nnamdi. But I called him. I said, look, don't disregard your elders. Don't talk down on your elders. God has given you the region, because we've been praying for another Igbo man, one Igbo man to speak. At least 80% of Igbos will say, we agree with you, because every Igbo man is independent. It doesn't work in leadership. It doesn't work in the success of things. Everybody must come to the point where you agree with a leader. So when the leader says we're going left, you all agree we're going left. That is what makes a tribe successful. And then the next thing is started abusing everybody, and you know all that happened. And the next thing was what happened in the Southeast. I went to the Southeast. I was talking to each leader, and I told them, Southeast, you are the problem of yourself. You betray yourselves. I would tell you that the people that betray Peter Obi, the people that betray Peter Obi most are Igbos. So I have worked with your people, sir. I'm speaking from, I have defended the Igbo race by the grace of God. And I have walked among the Igbos. I will tell you, an Igbo man, the average Igbo man is self-centered. If it is me, I can get it for myself. Everybody perish, no problem. That's the average. No, that does not mean that that is the nature of the Igbo. No, the Igbo man is a lovable person. That's why even in missions in the north, the people that support converted Christians, the work of God, is Igbos. Igbos are wonderful people. But the only thing is that the Igbo man they need to deal with is that they don't love themselves. They don't. So what they need to do is to learn from the West, the Yorubas, to learn from the North. And when that is done, then I can tell you that the Igbo person will lead this country. But we need an Igbo man now to lead. But what I'm saying is, because where it is, Peter Obi for now, look at it. Look at where Peter Obi has been pushed to right now in the calculation of things. So if Peter Obi does not work, Peter Obi is not the Messiah. Peter Obi is only an instrument. I still believe him. That's why I told you that I've said he should join hands together with Mr. Prince Adewale. But we should be able to have individuals from the West who believed in the new Nigeria. Peter Obi believed in the new Nigeria. And then together we will join our hands to rescue this country. I think we've come to a stage where the matter of tribe for now has to be kept aside. And the issue on the front burner should be, what must we do to save Nigeria? So I think I try to answer all the questions together.
Yes,
because the matter of killing ourselves, I will tell you, by the grace of God. Okay, look at it. Ebonyi governor, who is the minister of work, he was the one that run down things that has to do with an Igbo candidate. Here was like from the north. Northern people were paying the price for Peter Obi. But Southern Igbos especially were selling their own people. So I know what I'm talking about by the grace of God. I have worked with the Igbos from the Enugu. I've worked with Igbos from Ebonyi. I have the best of all men from Igbo extraction. But one thing is, the truth is the truth. When the Igbo man begins to respect kinship, begin to respect a voice to guide, that's it. The Igbo man will get to lead Africa.
All right, thank you so much. Finally, forefathers, quickly your question. I will see if we can get Mazi Para to also ask a question.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Dr. Damages, and greetings to all the panelists, and special greetings to the Prophet El Buba Isa. And yeah, I just wanted to quick statement anyway regarding what you said about the Palestinians. I felt that was lacking of empathy for the people. They may have been created or used as some kind of political pawn, but they existed in that land for over a millennia. And no matter what it is, everybody else has abandoned them, and the land that they were on they are being dispossessed of it. I would have expected a man of God to be more empathetic of that plight.
Let me just cut you because of the time, sir. Remember that it's a question asked about the Palestinian view. And within the shortest time, sir, I have, what is the Palestinian? If I have enough time, I would have gone further. All right, I've gone to the Palestinian territory severally, sir, to support these Palestinian people that are also going through pains and suffering within their areas. I have also rose against the militants that are raised to fight a cause. So if I had more time, assuming on my side, and we're talking about Palestinian, I will tell you my position in terms of the Palestinians that are killed or going through certain things innocently. But then the fact is, what is Palestinian? Palestine. That's why he asked me in my view, and also so I gave from what I know formally, even when I was not a Christian, and also what I know now. So that is just it, sir.
Okay, so yeah, let me go to the question of Nigeria. Regarding from the earlier conversation about an Igbo man ruling the country, an Hausa man and all the rest. Because of this problem, I feel like Nigeria may benefit from a presidential council system where all the 6 regions are represented on the presidential council, like the Swiss do. And whether it's something that if it is possible to establish in Nigeria, you would support. And also,
no, that's it. No, also.
I thought to answer that question.
I'm sorry. Mazabara Yones, we have to be nice to the prophet. Go ahead. Find your best person. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, Dr. Rudolph and Evangelist Buba. Barakada Aiki, Alabaka Alaheri, Alabaka Zamani.
Amina.
Alabaka Alaheri, Alabaka Alaheri, Alabaka Sa'a. I lived in Jos, and I've met you, but then we were very young. You were a disciple of Paul Jingri, Let Paul Jingri. I was a member of Good News Church in Bukuru, Jos. We have met, but a long time ago. Please keep on doing your good work. God is on your side, and God will bless you. Forget about what people are saying about your mission. You are doing a very great job. My question is, there is a young Fulani man. I think he's called. He's preach the gospel. How are you helping that guy spreading the word of God in Nigeria? Thank you. God bless you.
All right, thank you, Prophet. Before you answer, one last one. There's one last one here, Ike. That's it. Ike, you go next. They will kill me if you leave, and they didn't get a chance since they are in the studio.
Yeah,
ahead,
I think
I know. Ike, go ahead quickly, please.
I'm not going to kill you, Rudolph. I know that the man of God has a very short time limit. Okay, so I do understand. But my name is Ike Alamefla. I'm speaking to you from the Caribbean, more importantly, the island of Bonaire. Just a comment I want to make. Thank you for coming to the platform. It's a place we meet Nigerians and different people from all over the world to talk about the way forward for our country. But I just want to thank you for your sacrifices you make for humanity, and more especially what you did in 2023 for Mr. Peter Obi and the Obedient Movement. And I tell you that we hold you in a very high esteem. And I want to tell you that mistakes were made. And I think each and every one of us have learned the mistake of 2023. And I want to assure you that 2027 will not be like that. So thank you for what you do. And I pray that the good Lord will continue to give you the grace and the strength to continue to touch lives and continue to speak power to, speaking truth to power. It doesn't matter wherever, whosoever it concerns. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Let me quickly, because I need to exit. Number one, there's a document I have prepared for the New Nigeria. If you listen, there is the film I produced, New Nigeria. You can actually get it on my YouTube channel, The New Nigeria. There is a film I produced of the vision I saw of the New Nigeria. And that is where all the regions will be able to produce a vice president that is led by a leader among them. And then there is kind of, in 2 years, I drop, you move, that kind of, so because that is one way of healing the nation so fast. That's number one. Number two, they will be able to supervise all of what we're talking about in the respective regions, and that is going to help. So that is the kind of restructuring that I am looking at. So if you watch that film, I produced that film, you can watch it and it will help to give a better understanding. The young Fulani converts, by God's grace, we are helping the young converts. There are many, and everything comes to this table of mine, but by God's grace, I'm also one of the oldest now. But something happened, which basically some of the Muslim converts and the Fulani came to meet me. It was because of the wrong relationship he had with the lady, and that was bringing it destroyed the image of the convert, and especially with the Muslims. Muslims are very good in propaganda, very, very good in propaganda. And so we had to arrest the matter, and then the issue of probably drinking or something. So we had to deal with that matter, but it's been taken care of by God's grace. The converts, we are working. We have what we call the Muslim believers background fellowship. So most of the Muslim converts, I'm putting them together so that together they will be able to help one another and strengthen one another. Because when you stand alone, you become a victim of the enemy. But when you stand together, you become strength that the enemy cannot even get you or gun you down. So we're working on that. Then I think, thank you very much, Dr. Damage, and each one of you. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for having faith in your country. I will close with this word. Please, let's help Nigerians to talk less, to do more. Let's talk solution. Let's talk what do we do? How do we go about it? Because whatever you say, you can bring all the problems in this world, but without presenting the steps. And then this is what we do. Find out people, find out Nigerians who are also on the ground doing their bits. How do we network together? Because nobody can do it alone. We do it together. And together we will rescue Nigeria. It's your pride. Tomorrow is today and tomorrow. This country, there's none like it in the world. And by the grace of God, all of you in the diaspora will lift your head high of this, your country. But let's make sure that with less argument, let's bring more intentional, deliberate steps, solutions, so that we can use this platform to produce an army that will help in the rescue of this Nigerian state. Thank you, Mr. Damages. Thank you. God bless you. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and hopefully you'll come back soon. We just couldn't even get to all the questions we have. Thank you. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll take a break and then we will conclude with our people. Thank you, everybody.
Eddie Kwansa bio bio, Eddie Kwansa bio bio, Eddie Kwansa bio bio, Izukama na nedio biao biao, Eddie Kwansa bio bio, Eddie Kwansa bio bio. Eddie Kwansa bio bio, Izukama na nedio biao biao.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging in here, hanging out with us, and I appreciate all of you as always. And we will soon hand it over to KJ, who is going to host the after show. But I know that the way this happened, I needed to have a chance to say, talk to you guys. I know a lot of people may not be satisfied with the rush, but it's the way it is. We what we do here on regular TV, 3 hours is more than the time they give to at least maybe 6 shows you know. So we try the best we can with time management. But I will bring him back next time, and hopefully we'll have more time to get into most of the conversations we didn't reach. Okay, I'll just give everybody one minute, 2 minutes, and then KJ will handle. We will just move to KJ. KJ, do you want to stay here or go to the stream? I think you go to the stream, the one set up for the after show. Go ahead.
Yes, I want. In fact, when I end it, so I know exactly.
I'm ending now. Just to take, if there's any question from anybody, I just take it, and then. But I will actually join. I want to join. I want to hear what everybody's saying.
Okay.
Maybe this is an opportunity for me to mention that next week we have. I'm getting close to bringing somebody from the government side to be on the show. But next week on 90 Minutes Africa. Oh, okay. Don't mind the dates. We shifted this to from this week. We are going to have Dr. Salako. He's an energy consultant. He actually believes that there are things that can be done now as we have this president, instead of wasting another 2 years hoping for somebody else and everything that he could do. So if you read his essays, I will share that with some people who are in my broadcast network on WhatsApp. Some essays he wrote recently. He will come here and he will talk in I think what I consider a sympathetic part in terms of what the government should do, practical things at this point to change the situation of Nigerians. So he will join us next Sunday on 90 Minutes Africa. All right, quickly before KJ starts his stream, KJ, I will share the link. Any comments, any questions? Mr. James, actually, I wanted to hear from you quickly.
Yes, you see, I took the stand, I maintain the stand I took earlier on for a particular reason. This is a man who admitted being a repentant terrorist. We know the problems the repentant terrorists are causing in the military. When they repent, they cooperate into the military, and soldiers have died and gone. Nothing is being done. Now here is a man in the midst of men of God. He's a repentant terrorist. If you are repentant, go to the police. Tell them, I killed XYZ. I bought this house. I did this and that to the military. I want forgiveness. Then they follow the legal process and they will be forgiven. That he has not done. Crime has no expiry date. This man has got questions to answer. You get the point I'm making? That is why I took the stand I took earlier on. But he seemed to he knew where I was going. That's why he interrupted me.
Okay.
And he called himself a man of God. I was quoting Revelation chapter, what's it called? Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. He thought that I was fabricating it. He asked me to repeat it. I repeated it, then he checked it online. It means that even as a man of God who has been preaching for since God knows when, he has not been able to commute the Bible to memory. This is a book I read during my primary and early high school days. I still remember these things clearly. This is what you earn your living from, and you cannot even commute these things to memory. You get the point I'm making? So how sincere are these repentant terrorists? Now, when there's any major war in most parts of the world, I have noticed that the foreign intelligence network, I wouldn't like to mention any country, they have reverend fathers, Jehovah's Witnesses, Pentecostal men in their midst as soldiers. They send them out as spies to preach religion to people in the midst of war, gathering information. It has happened in very many countries. You get the point? So for this man to come and tell me that I'm a repentant terrorist, why you not surrendered yourself to the judicial process to be cross-examined? How repentant are you? Frankly speaking, I see as a mole in the midst of the Christians. So please let everybody open his eyes wide and clear.
Thank you so much. I just want to say something before we go to KJ and continue the conversation. Actually, I had questions about the book. He wrote a book in 1983 and 1994. When he was an extremist, I won't say terrorist, but extremist, it was before Boko Haram. So in the book, we didn't get to any of those things, but we'll eventually bring him back another time. In the book, he talked about what they were being trained for and what was going on in the training and how it was the foundation that led to Boko Haram. That all the things that they did in the training and where they were became the place that Boko Haram now established. It wasn't that he was part of Boko Haram or any of those things, but he was, because he was a Muslim and the father was an extremist Muslim. He went through
No,
all.
he said, sorry. He said it's a repentant.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm not the one saying it. He said it.
Okay, I just want to put it in the context.
Rudolph, can I say something, Mr. James? I think we need to be. I understand you hold your views, which is okay. I don't think anybody should crucify you for holding your views, but I think before Boko Haram, we had Maitasina in the 80s and co and all those things. So if somebody was in that era and says, I used to be an extremist of before, he's not an extremist of today's this thing. But that doesn't mean there is no room for change in anything. There are people who are criminals who work for some of the agencies you're talking about. They have changed and they now help them with the kind of work they do. So I think we just need to be a bit tolerant when it comes to some of these things. But you're entitled to your views. That's just the point I'm going to make.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. I will listen in and then I'll try to come in if there is anything I can explain to people. But I thank everybody who supported us today. It's another.
Dr. Damaji, hold on first. Hold on. You're not going to escape this because I wasn't really paying attention to it, but you, because I won't ask. I don't know where an skill you get, right? Even in the midst of somebody they talk rubbish, you still maintain. I was paying attention to you when he was talking about Adeboye or Adeboye in love for children and all that. I just looked Dr. Damaji. The way you heard it. I was like,
no. You see, anyway. I will talk about that at the other end. Let me just thank Oscar Blackburn for supporting us. Cynthia, thank you so much. Nana Bash, thank you so much. Oscar Blackburn, thank you. George Blue Shell, thank you. Real K, thank you so much. And Cynthia, we appreciate all of you. Those that watched on the comment section, your comments, I read most of them. Thank you. And those that watched at home, I appreciate all of you. Until next week, I will be back with another edition of 90 Minutes Africa. Thank you, forefathers. Thank you, Ike. Thank you, Ovie. Thank you, Mr. James. Thank you, Jagun. Thank you, Revolution.
You did well today, Dr. Rudolph.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that, Jagun. Coming from you, I should go and drink Guinness. I'll see you guys.
Go and do it.
Tó fẹ́ kú torí ẹ̀ o.